in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
You've had a long, hard day of consuming football.
Football is all I got.
And as we all know, the only way to prevent a hangover is to have another round.
Don't it feel good when your crowd behind you? You know what I'm saying? Let's give them something to cheer for now.
This is Fan College Football Game Night. Early game scores and recaps, along with previews of the big night games.
Sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. From sump pumps and water heaters to full-service heating and cooling repair and replacement. The Waterworks and Header tackle it all.
I'm going to assume most of you out there have seen the movie Groundhog Day, where Bill Murray kind of wakes up and looks over at the alarm clock and it's the same time and same song plays and he feels like he's having the same day. Well, today's Ohio State game, same result. It felt kind of like a Purdue game. Last week against Penn State kind of felt like a Purdue game where you go into the second quarter and you feel like, all right, this game's in hand. Actually, when C.J. Donaldson punches it in from a yard out, you feel like the game's in hand. But for Ohio State, who is now 9-0 on the season, it's like we've been saying for the past couple of weeks, winning's fun. A game you were expected to win for Ohio State, who gets the 34-10 win, as I'm sure you've heard throughout the evening here. It's funny, I was talking to Beam and Zwick as they were exiting. Probably going to have a similar show next week. Post-Ohio State victory over an unmatched opponent. And what I would just tell Ohio State fans that might have a gripe with how this is going in terms of you don't have marquee matchups anymore until that game, which will be a marquee matchup on the 29th, enjoy this. Enjoy winning like this. Enjoy winning with a quarterback who you didn't expect this from this early on. Now, a lot of us, I think, had felt when Ohio State has a 5-person quarterback room, Nick Saban retires, and they still go into the portal to grab Julian, saying, this could be, but you didn't know, because how could you? Playing college football, playing quarterback at this level is so hard. But that kid makes it look so easy. Even in instances, and we'll have plenty of time to go over some of the wrinkles we'd like to see ironed out, and good news for Buckeye fans, you'll have 2 weeks to iron those out. Because the game on the 29th will be the one there can be no wrinkles. You're going to have to play perfect. I don't care who's going to be on that Michigan sideline, whether they have Justice Haynes or probably not. But for Julian, you have moments with how good he looks, and then oh no, when he's staring at a defensive end that drops back into coverage and he throws it right to him. There's learning opportunities for the young kid, but you've still got one more season of him, and you've still got one more season of Jeremiah Smith. So what's coming down the pipeline for Ohio State fans, I wouldn't look at with any trepidation. I would be grateful for what's been and grateful for what's to come. Now, we'll do some nitpicking, but that's what we have to preface it with. I'm Eric Reeser. Jacob Reimer's here as well. We'll get to Jeffrey Thidoff whenever Jeffrey Thidoff gets to us. But 8:30 is the time we'll be off the air tonight. Not your Jackets pre-game. We'll have some Infinity Sports Network coverage that will lead you up to Jackets and Canucks. CBJ are playing in Vancouver. They've lost 2 straight. So that'll pregame will be at 9:30. But week 11 in college football, and it's weird to say, but this is what always happens, right? When you get into the start of the college football season, whether it's week 0 or week 1, you hug your loved ones, you pat your kids on the head, you say, all right, I'll see you on Thanksgiving. And this does feel like that time warp that college football's put us through. But for Ohio State and for Ryan Day, it's really encapsulated what they've done up to this point by Ohio State's one drive in the third quarter that I mentioned was ended when Julian Sain threw it to a defensive lineman in coverage. Now, there were 2 guys in the back of the end zone that I think he was looking for, so you can explain a lot of that away. The minor mistakes that this Ohio State team makes, you can explain away. And you can also say with the caveat, he's only started 9 games. He's got time to work on things. And in those situations, maybe you're playing like you got a little bit cooking. Because up to that point, the Buckeyes were cooking. But they were cooking at the pace that Ryan Day wanted to cook at. And I'm not sure with how I want to address this next incident. Or this, I don't know if incident's the right word. If I want to cook Jeffrey Thidoff or just ask him. Because I know he watched the game today. I know he saw what Ohio State did. Are there any gripes from you, Mr. Thidoff?
Oh, sorry. There's a microphone there. Last touchdown. That was a gripe.
Okay.
The last touchdown. Having that happen, in the way Purdue just marched on down the field.
But it's against backups.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's backups
That's
all year
fair.
long.
That's
End
fair.
of games and backups all year long, Reese. When there's been times when Ohio State's, they have their backups in there and they don't give up that extra touchdown or extra field goal, whatever it is. I will also tell you this.
Hello. Traffic?
No.
No.
Kids. I will tell you this, though. If you were interested at all, the line sometime varied between 27 and 29 points.
I think we picked it Friday on Bishop and Friends at 30.5.
And the score was 34-3.
Yep.
Until it wasn't.
What are you saying?
I'm not
Do we
saying.
need to send a memo to Cash Patel?
Did someone make a call?
Or
Is what
Dan
is that what you're
Bongino?
saying?
I'm just saying that it was well in hand with 34-3 that the Buckeyes were going to cover. There was no chance they were going to let Purdue score a touchdown, Reese.
And then they did.
Then they did. Yeah.
I think, and we'll hear from Ryan Day plenty of times throughout the show, but the way to get these young kids, and they are kids.
Yes, they are.
The way to get them to get better is to have them play.
Mm-hmm.
And in those situations, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to miss tackles. They're going to miss assignments. They're going to do all of those things that makes you want to pull what little hair you have out of your head. But that's also part of games like this, where you put yourself in such a comfortable position that they can go out onto the field and they can learn on the fly, because there's nothing that can replicate game reps like game reps.
Yeah, and look, I have no problem playing the backups. I'm just saying, I'm surprised they would allow Purdue to go down and get that touchdown.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at, giving up 3 points in a college football game is quite an accomplishment. When you get to double digits, 10 feels like a hell of a lot more than 9. Even though it's only 1, 10 feels like a lot more than 9 or 6.
Ohio State has gave up 10 points on the day.
I know.
And you're not happy with it.
No, I'm not saying what happened with it.
What I'm saying to you is it's not wrong to feel that way.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. Ohio State fan, if you're out there with the same gripe as Tito, it's not wrong, but it's where we are as a fan base and how well this defense has played. You almost look at the backups that are in there and be like, there was the standard. You needed to uphold it, and you did not.
The fact I was a few minutes late coming in, I can't even use daylight savings as an excuse, right? Because we sent him back, didn't we?
Yeah, sure.
So it'd be 5:08 versus 6:08.
Well, when we kind of thought that this would be closer to a 6 o'clock start,
right?
Reimer texted you,
he did say,
and you
after
responded.
6. I said 11 after 6. That's fine.
This is a little after 6, but we hit the air.
No, wait, my kid's at a swim meet, and my wife is there. My other kid was home and rode his bike to a friend's house. It was supposed to be coming home, and he wasn't. And I was like, dude, I can't come get you. You got a bike. I got to go. And so that's why I was a couple minutes late getting in here. That's the reason.
I guess you could have. Well, we might not have the Opal app on your phone anymore, because I know that's what Tim May's been doing.
Oh, yeah, Tim, he shows it to me. Yes, he does it. Yeah.
That's what you could have done. Or I guess we could add your phone in.
Could have done that
while
too.
You're driving.
Yes.
We're not really great at thinking on the fly, but Reimer and I were just making sure we got onto the air. So I guess I could deliver an opening monologue that says, is winning fun? Isn't winning fun, Tito?
It's much more fun crossing paths with Teddy and Bieber on the way out, and they're like, oh, you're in trouble. And then I come in here sheepishly. I see a Carolina shirt over there.
Don't worry, I won't tell anybody.
They're going to know. Bieber will tell somebody.
What do you mean?
Someone's going to know.
Who's he going to tell? He's going to go home and take care of baby William. You think he's going to fire off a text to the boss being like, hey, Tito a little tardy?
I think so.
No one's going to know. No one's listening anyway.
Reimer really wants to move up. I could see Reimer doing it. Reimer, this seat right here. Reimer.
Considering this is a college football show, so we're not going to do any college basketball in the program.
Thank God.
We're going to actually do a little bit of college basketball program. We do have Tyler Danberg coming on at 7:30. He was on the sidelines today at Ross Stadium. He'll also be on the call for the Ohio State women's squad. They're opening their season tomorrow against Coppin State. I think that's on the Fan too.
Sounds like it'd be Fan 2-ish.
1 o'clock tip coverage at 12:45. it'll be difficult this year because it was ESPN Columbus for the longest time. But if we say that,
Yeah.
we'll get electrodes strapped to our nipples and electrocuted.
I did it twice on Morning Juice in the last month, and I've literally got it typed out on the prep sheet in all caps.
You do a
bold,
prep sheet?
big one. Yes, I do a prep sheet.
Biggest shocker of the day.
Whatever. I don't want to hear it from you, but I make sure it says it says Fan 2 and not the other thing.
Do you like that they took Julian Saint out in the red zone for the Lincoln Keenholz package?
I do, and the reason I like it is because with Ohio State, they need to manufacture situations where they might be a little uncomfortable. Manufacture situations. What is the word I'm thinking of? But like they need to manufacture moments of tension.
No, I think that's the right word. They need to manufacture They need to manufacture game situations they think they will see in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Because I forget which Ohio State player. It might have been Max Clare this week, but they're playing for December and January.
Yes.
We are at November 8th.
Yeah.
So you have to do a lot of that manufacturing, to your point, because Purdue's not going to offer one-to-one challenges.
I want to see 2-minute drives. I want to see field goals that need to
when
be.
He called that timeout, Ryan Day, with like a minute 12 left to go, I'm like, they're doing a 2-minute drill.
Yes, which is we don't get to see.
And not only did it provide you a 2-minute drill where I thought Julian was efficient, I thought he was patient, I thought he was great, it gave Jaden Fielding the chance for a career-long field goal. It did a lot of things that you need or that you think you're going to need come the college football playoff, and that's what you're preparing for. And maybe that game against Michigan.
Would that make you feel bad as an opponent if a team is running drills during a live game?
No, I think at week 11 of the season,
just because it's so out of hand.
I think because it's week 11 and you're Purdue and your record, you know what you are, you know who you are, you know it. You could have done a 180 or a 360 around the stadium, and it was mostly scarlet at Ross 8 anyway. You know these things are going to happen.
There's that famous story when Indiana played at Ohio State and Corso was coaching, and Indiana took the lead early on, and he asked somebody to take a photo of him with the scoreboard behind him, leading Ohio State like in the first quarter. Purdue could have done that today when it was 3-0 after one quarter because everyone knew that wasn't going to stick. Like that was going to be Purdue's high point probably of the season, that they were up 3-0 on Ohio State.
And the banner.
Yeah, the first team to be leading Ohio State after the first quarter this year.
Held them scoreless in the first quarter.
Yeah,
too.
It's amazing.
This was a conversation that 2 years ago, maybe I was doing a show with Matt Andrews, and I forget what I had said, but he looked at me and he said, the Ohio State coaching staff doesn't owe you anything.
Okay.
And I took it at that time. I forget what I was complaining about. A great many things I bitch about on this airwave. But I think he's right because as long as the result's there, they don't really owe us anything but the win.
Yeah.
And so far, unblemished on the season, now 6-0 in Big Ten play. So when we sit here and have those kinds of complaints to where the Bison package or where they're handing it off to a freshman tight end,
right?
I sit there, oh, come on. But really, this is for, talking about manufacturing situations. I think they're throwing a lot of stuff at the wall against a team like Purdue to see what sticks.
I think so. And I think that when it comes to the game like this, like there's going to be situations, where you're going to try some new things, and it just you're overmatching. Purdue has no shot in this game whatsoever, and I think that Ryan Day and Ohio State, they do it to Reimer's point, they do it respectfully. You know what I mean? Like they don't.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I think they do it respectfully to the opponent. I think that they certainly appreciate and understand that the other team on the other side of the ball doesn't have it and isn't going to win the game. But I think that Ohio State didn't. It's like they're out there throwing flea flickers,
right? Because when Lincoln goes into the ball game, you're like, all right,
Lincoln's going to get the ball,
pitch it down the field, and they just run the ball.
Yeah. Well, Lincoln's in though. It's like Lincoln's going to. But when he gets there in the red zone though, it's like we all knew.
Oh yeah, everybody should have known that was going to
be a Lincoln run. Yes,
and I do think for this team, that's just different things that you have to do in a game.
Yeah. Because
I also think there's a lot of stuff that they've done over the past, 8 weeks of games, 9 weeks of games. They're probably like, all right, we're not doing that again.
Right, yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're going to hand it off to a tight end anymore in the red zone. I think they just, in that situation, if C.J. Donaldson's in the backfield,
right,
he's now shown with 2 touchdowns on the ground in short yardage situations, that's your guy.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson's running back 1. I like the little pop what I saw from James Peoples. They like Isaiah West. I think it goes back to the point about having these young guys play in these games because you've got to get stuff on tape.
Yeah.
And you've got to see what you can do with these young guys in situations you'll have against UCLA and you'll have against Rutgers, where there might be, a series or two. All right, we're going to give the bulk of the carries to Isaiah West or James Peoples. That it feels like he's healthier. I would love to see more James Peoples in this offense, but there's only one football and so many mouths to feed.
Have you felt like this about Ohio State team recently?
No, I've never felt like this about an Ohio State team.
I was trying to think like
my formative years of the Tressel era.
Right,
So,
where it was never, yeah.
And even with Urban.
Yeah, because with Urban, we had we'd have the Purdue loss pop up or Iowa loss pop up. Like, I don't have that kind of, no offense, Urban, if you're listening. I just don't have that kind of fear with this team.
No.
Because I think that Day has really hammered it home that the opponent is us. It's not them.
And he's been doing that since last season even.
Yeah.
It's about us. It's not about the opponent. Yeah. It's about us as a team.
Yeah.
And every day you're building a foundation that can push you or that can build you a championship in January.
Yeah. I want to say the closest thing could have maybe been an offensive-led C.J. Stroud team just a few years ago, just because you know that they were going to put up points. The defense was nowhere near the same. That's the thing. But you knew that the game wasn't going to be in question because of the offense.
So there's a little bit of that because I've also tried to rack my head with this, but it's never been as complimentary.
Oh,
where you've got an offense that can score at will, and this offense can. Yeah. I think you just keep it out of the red zone if you want to be 100% sure.
Right.
But then you think, all right, if Julian does throw that interception in the end zone, they've still got to get through Ohio State's defense.
Yeah.
And they're not giving up points. They might give up yards, but they'll clamp it down in the red zone. I mean, it's never been like this.
It's so funny. I'm sitting there when they get the interception in the red zone. I'm like, run it out. Because I want to see a safety. Like, I want to see me tackle like the 3, and I'm thinking, okay, safety time. Here we go.
It was a smart play by the defensive end because I was wondering what he was gonna do that moment, because not necessarily he wasn't a fat guy by any stretch of the imagination, but if it's like a defensive tackle, maybe he's trying to rumble it to the 5-yard line. But
Tyvus would have ran it out.
Yeah.
Did you see him today?
I saw.
That was unbelievable.
Tell me about it.
In Iowa.
I'm trying to think so for those who don't know what we're talking about, Tyvus Powell does the Big Ten TV tailgate, and they were in Kinnick, or they were in Iowa City for the game right now between Oregon and Iowa at Kinnick, and they have a Caitlin Clark 22 on their basketball court.
Yeah, I think it's from the spot where she broke the record.
Where she broke the record. It's on that spot right there.
And they had him try a shot from that, and he just had one chance.
He said before the shot, if I make this, I'm never taking another shot in my life. Now, I see it. I text Tyvus. I sent him 2 texts. The first one I said, I have 3 words for you. What the F? And then I said, I have 3 more words for you. How many takes? Because I wasn't convinced he did it. He claims it was 1 take.
It looks like it was 1.
Look, we've seen Tyvus shoot out here.
I know.
Okay.
Here's the thing. We don't have any proof that it wasn't a 1-take wonder.
I like to say that I think I had a hand in that with all the Papa Shot beatings I've given him.
Oh, you're the iron sharpening the iron.
So, yeah.
Yes,
it's Jacob Reimer and Tyvus Powell doing Papa Shot for the last 4 years. That's led him to that moment
in Iowa
where he feels so confident he can make that in a legendary spot.
Yeah, that's what it is. I told him to break down his shot sometime when he breaks down defenses like that. One time a week he'll get on 10 TV or whatever. He does like the video where like he breaks down some. I want to do it with Tyvus' shot like he has a Papa Shot.
That would be something for content if any of the digital people are listening. Like have him or have his shot up there, and then you and Reimer can just kind of dissect all the mechanics of that shot.
The fact he's wearing dress shoes. Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered if in those situations, because he's always he's not ever going to say no.
Right.
So I do wonder if like the Big Ten production staff, much like top men here at Tegna, just ask him everything and he just won't say no.
Yeah, he won't say.
Yes, bring it on, Tyvus.
Yeah, he's a yes man. 100%.
I told him earlier this week because right after the morning show, he has to get up and drive to Cleveland.
Right.
And then I think he had to do something else later that day for 10 TV. And I go, Tyvus, repeat after me. I'm sorry, I'm unavailable. I have a prior obligation. Like just repeat that to yourself in the mirror before you do T-Bone and Tyvus weekdays from 6 to 9, and then figure the rest out of the schedule.
When he's used 6 to 8, by the way.
6 to 8 on the on the YouTube. Also, you guys are streaming on Twitter. I saw
Twitter, Facebook. We're all over there. We're there. We can.
You're everywhere.
We are. You can hear us the replay on the Fan 2.
Which is where you'll find Ohio State women's basketball tomorrow.
Yes, and all full circle now. It's a great callback by you. This first segment feels like it flew by.
It's been quick.
It's been 20 minutes. Maybe it's been 13.
Well, it was like Reimer called me and he's like, "Do you want to put in a PSA or do anything?" I'm like, "No, we'll go to 41." Like the last thing the folks here want to listen to is more commercials.
We're going to 41 right now?
Yeah.
Oh, heck, I got here early
You
then.
can take a break. Like, you don't have to stay in here for this.
No. I thought we were going to a break here. I didn't know that. Okay. This is awesome then. The Ohio State now with UCLA and then Rutgers the next 2 weeks.
Next week, 7:30 will be the kick for that game. We're the Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, we are.
So we're the preview show because Beamer Zwick and I were talking like this will be kind of the type of program that they do for the next couple. Is Ohio State great, overmatched opponent?
Yep.
Here's some things to work on. Julian awesome, Jeremiah awesome.
Yep.
This isn't going to change against UCLA. It ain't going to change against Rutgers.
No.
You will have everything buttoned up and zipped up for the game against Michigan.
Sure.
We still got to get there.
When you're watching that, I don't know what it was like for you, but I'm watching the Ohio State-Purdue game today, and I was thinking about how did this team almost beat Michigan? How did this team stay within 5 points of the Wolverines in Ann Arbor?
I think there was
surprised.
some special teams shenanigantry, and I do think Justice Haynes is Michigan's offensive engine, and he broke his foot.
Right.
So I think there's still some out there that think he could be back for that game because Michigan's on a bye this week, so I don't know. But they don't have nearly the talent that this Ohio State team does. And I'm talking about that team up north.
Sure.
But how long have we been saying that?
Right. I know. And then you look at it, the two, like, Ohio State didn't have Carnell Tate today.
Which I thought was interesting, that there was nothing said about it this week. There was nothing said about it before the game. It even took Fox a couple drives before it was even mentioned as to why they showed him at the first drive.
Right.
Helmet off, in full pads on the sideline. And then finally, Ohio State came out and said he's being held out for precautionary reasons.
Right.
And then Ryan Day was asked about it. He said, yep, he's just being held out. And what it meant to, what I at least took from it was that something tweaked during warmups. Something has been tweaked. I mean, because again, you're in week 11 of the college football season. It does feel like, and I'm sure Bob's told you this a lot on Morning Juice, everybody's injured. Everybody's playing with something at this point in the season.
No one's 100%.
And so I thought back to Jackson Smith and Jigba, his final season, where the hamstring was never right for the entire year.
Seemed like every week, he might play.
2 games.
He might play.
So for Carnell, I think if you're dealing with something like everybody is, and he's just a little bit unable to go, and you're the coaching staff, you're probably taking his helmet from him. Because I can't imagine a situation where he looks across and sees Purdue and goes, yeah, I don't really want any of that smoke. Like, did he look like a person that, I mean, I'm not body language expert here. He didn't look like a person that was very thrilled to be standing on that sideline today. I'm
just telling you, when I see somebody without their helmet, I think 2 things. Concussion protocol or disciplinary reason. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw it. And I jumped to that conclusion in my mind. I didn't tweet it out or like that.
Sure.
That's what I thought.
That's what my head went to, was a discipline.
Discipline, or
that's where I went to
if
first.
If he has no helmet, I think concussion. So I wish it would have been just cleared up, but it didn't. It's not going to affect the game.
Then I think it was Gus Orgel on the broadcast say he was tight, or not Gus or Joel. They were on one TV, but it was Jake Butt and I forget whose color comment or the play-by-play guy is, Levering, that said he was tight in warmups.
Yeah.
So then I thought about Jackson's final season at Ohio State and said, all right, if he's tight in warmups in this game, you do not need him against Purdue. It does then provide opportunity.
Sure.
For guys like Mylan Graham.
Yep.
Who, when the ball's thrown across the middle of the field, you've got to come up with that.
I know.
Like, that's a drive killer.
It is.
And that's something that in the moment you're like, damn it, man, you got to come up with that. Your quarterback puts it on you right there, but because you're a little scared of that contact.
Yeah. Reese, we talked about earlier in the year, too. It's like the best thing in the world is to have an easy, convincing win and still have stuff to work on. You know, like you're not watching film after a loss. You're watching film, you're critiquing, okay, yeah, we won by 24 points, and we dominated the game, but we need to do these things better. Or like Ryan Day says, it'll cost us in a game. Like when the thing when he got mad at, who was it, Jackson for stretching the ball out one time earlier in the year, right? They said, that's going to cost us, or missing a field goal or something. Those kinds of things will cost us in a game at some point. So I like the fact that mistakes happen in a 24-point win.
I also thought there were some instances like Brandon Innes came up a little hobbly into the first quarter, and I wondered, like, maybe they do the same thing with him, put him on ice, but he played for most of the game, and Innes had a terrific afternoon. I mean, the attention of course goes to Jeremiah Smith,
right?
But you love the idea that Innes 3 catches for 26 yards, but he's still back there fielding punts. This I'm looking at Jeremiah's thing, 10 for 130.
It's just insane, dude. They should have benched him after that foul in the first play.
Well, it goes back to the thing about Tate and Innes. Like, good luck.
Right. I know. Yeah.
You're going to have to take their helmet from them,
right? Yeah.
They want to be in this game, and especially for Jeremiah, who's on a Heisman campaign.
Mm-hmm.
We talked this week that there cannot be a 3-year stretch where the best player in college football does not win the Heisman.
Okay.
Because it's consensus, right? Jeremiah Smith's the best college football player in the country.
He is, but he won't win the Heisman.
He won't win it this year.
He won't win it this year.
What about next year? It'd be wild to me that in 3 years where you look to number 4 in Ohio State and say best player in college football, where he doesn't win the award that acknowledges that.
He's likely going to be the number 1 pick, too, when he goes. I don't see a world
he can
where
play
he's
Sundays
not.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a catch on the sideline he makes with,
that
with
one,
2
yes.
feet. Like, Indiana had probably the best catch of the weekend.
That was a fantastic
with
catch,
that
yes.
one with the toe tapping in the back of the end zone to propel them past Penn State. But the grab Jeremiah Smith made on the sideline late in that game, that's a professional right there.
Barring like historically fantastic record-setting seasons, if Sayin wins it this year, I think it'd be Jeremiah next year. It gives me a lot of vibes of like the Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart thing.
Yeah.
Where, and I honestly, I truly believe this. I don't think the Heisman Trophy voters want to have another 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. I don't think they ever want to have one. Archie's done it the best. Think if Manziel and Archie were in the same sentence. You know what I mean? Like, look at
was Tebow probably the closest?
Tebow probably was the closest. Yeah, but you look at it, though, it's like there's nobody who could possibly be a better human being to represent the Heisman Trophy 2-time winner than Archie Griffin. Nobody.
There was hype about Caleb Williams being a 2-time, too, because he could have been.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's a rule that's written down anywhere. And I'm not saying it's a conspiracy thing, but I think that if you're going to win it twice in your career, you've got to be really damn good and really damn clean.
Well, for Julian today, 27 to 33, 303 yards, a touchdown, and that not so clean interception. Saying before that pass, I'd thrown 173 straight passes without an interception.
See, and I wouldn't want to be saying in the video game because I'm afraid I'd hurt his stats. If I'm saying with his
you almost don't feel like you could do it justice.
No, I could do
even with probably a 99 overall in Jeremiah and probably a high 90s in Carnell Tate.
Damn, I was 20 out of 25.
You'd accidentally force a pass or something like that.
Do something right. It's ridiculous.
I was saying earlier in the hour, and it's never something that I want anybody to lose sight of. Just how hard it is to play quarterback in college football, where you see Penn State and you see Ethan
Grunkemeyer.
Ethan Grunkemeyer. I was confused him with Mark Gronowski, who's quarterback for Iowa. Right now, it's Oregon 15, Iowa 10, and we'll get into that game here in a little bit. But you see everybody struggling to play this position, almost except for Julian and in some instances Fernando, because Mendoza had a good game against Penn State. But it wasn't the kind that Julian had against Penn State. Now, you could argue, of course, who's got the better toys to roll with.
Sure.
But you've still got to go out there and do it. And nobody's done it better than a guy who's made 9 starts.
And Sayin makes it look easier than Mendoza does. Mendoza gets it done. Don't get me wrong. And it was a gritty, gutty
He gets
drive.
the results.
Yes.
Yep.
To beat a Penn State team that they should be much better than on the road, but still, clutch play, no doubt about it. He may have won the Heisman today. We don't know that, but
are you thinking Mendoza or Sayin?
Mendoza may have won it today.
He certainly pushed himself further in. I'm going to try to pull up the standings here, or I guess the odds here, but certainly that's going to be a play that's going to make all of the sports talk shows tomorrow and then Monday. You're probably not going to see anything really too eye-popping from Julian and Ohio State in that game against Purdue. And so you do need to have your stats a little cleaner the next 2 weeks for Sayin, because there's games that aren't going to be paid attention to at all by other people outside of Ohio State.
Yeah, that Mendoza thing was his Flutie moment. You know what I mean? That's what it was, his Flutie moment. And the reason Sayin doesn't have a Flutie moment, one, there hasn't been a game that's close enough to where you need to have something like that. He hasn't been in the position to, but also because most of Sayin's throws they look great because of the reception, not because of the throw. And because Mendoza had to make that play. I can't tell you who's the receiver. Do we know the receiver's name? Indiana, who caught it off the top of your head?
I don't know.
I don't either. Okay, right. We all know it's Mendoza, though, right?
Fernando Mendoza threw the ball.
It was a fantastic catch. One of the best catches we'll have all season long.
Omar Cooper Jr.
Okay, Omar Cooper Jr.
I had it written down, but you're right.
No, I'm saying it doesn't roll off our tongue, though, because that's a Mendoza moment, not Omar Cooper. Omar Cooper made a hell of a catch.
Yeah, it's almost... It's not too high by Mendoza, but if Cooper doesn't, make that play with his toe,
right,
then you're talking about Penn State probably holding on to beat Indiana.
That Sayin pass to Tate in double coverage was a beautiful pass by Julian Sayin, but we don't talk about that. Did you see what Tate did?
Tate made the play.
Tate made the play. But Sayin put the ball the only place it could be to be caught by Tate.
So just for those wondering at home, I'm just looking at the current Heisman odds right now via FanDuel, and Sayin and Mendoza are neck and neck with plus 170.
Okay.
You got Ty Simpson at plus 470. Marcel Reed, Texas A&M's quarterback. I mean, they're putting the boots to Missouri, 24-10. Plus 650. Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, plus 2,000. And then Jeremiah Smith, plus 2,500.
And then what's the date Heisman ballots are due, Mr. Heisman voter?
So they are due the Monday after the Big Ten Championship. So the Big Ten Championship's on the 6th.
All right.
They are due this. Yes, they're due the 8th.
Okay, so Sayin will have at least the Michigan moment made, Michigan game, and then the Big Ten Championship to do something. And how much of the TV execs drooling about the fact if it's Ohio State and Indiana 1 versus 2, the two best Heisman Trophy candidates going against each other in that game.
Yeah, you have the two, and probably by that point, because Texas A&M will have this Missouri game, and maybe Texas.
Right.
So barring an A&M, if A&M falls on their face, then Jeremiah Smith maybe goes up a peg or two. Sure. You could have all the top 3.
Yeah.
Playing in Indiana.
Like
Fox, during that Penn State-Indiana game, Fox already had the graphics package rolled out of the race to Indianapolis featuring Ryan Day and Kurt Signetti, because the Hoosiers are 10-0 for the second straight time all time.
I know.
What they're doing, that I didn't know that Indiana, and you probably, 9 out of 10 people would have probably figured this would be the case. I've never won a game in Happy Valley.
How many they played there? Do we know that?
I heard today on the broadcast that they hadn't won there before.
They
and
never won there before.
Crazy.
I don't know how many times.
I don't either.
Will effort that into the break because it has to be a staggering number.
I can't believe it's that big. You think it's over 10?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think it is.
I think you have a bunch between 2000 and now. Penn State joined the Big Ten in 97.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
It was 90. Actually, I think it was 94, right?
I'm
thinking
hoping
94.
You know better than I do.
I'm thinking 93, 94, yes.
Per AI review on Google, at least 13 times.
Okay.
Because probably before they entered Penn State, the Big Ten, they probably didn't see each other too much.
I can't believe they did, no.
It says the series has resulted in 13 home wins for Penn State. So this is obviously before today.
And I had even thought that Penn State's best punch was last week. But that's a resilient group. And I wonder, because there's a ton of talent, if you don't flush everybody from the staff.
Okay.
Terry Smith's a former Nittany Lion. I don't know what Jim Knowles has got left on his contract, but it does feel like for Penn State, who threw their best punch and Indiana absorbed it and was able to continue on now 10-0, the Hoosiers are.
Blake Horvath, by the way, out for Navy tonight against Notre Dame.
That's a shame.
Upper body injury, it says. That's from Pete.
So they play at 7:30.
Yeah.
The Irish, who, look, anytime you get Notre Dame with 10 wins on the schedule, they're making the college football playoff.
Yes, they are.
So I thought that the Notre Dame anger, I'm not for anymore, because it's just, this is kind of the way it is. And I look at it and go, well, if they win 10 games, they're making the college football playoff. And you might even move the goalposts when they expand the playoff for Notre Dame, because whatever.
I think that most Ohio State fans won't be upset about that because
I disagree.
Because it hasn't affected Ohio State yet. If it came down to Notre Dame getting in over Ohio State, all of a sudden I think there'd be a huge
that
uproar.
would direct.
Okay? But right now, I don't care if Notre Dame gets in. You know what? I kind of want them to get in just because I think it's good TV.
Beating Notre Dame's always fun.
Yes.
That'll never get old for me.
No.
And I think that could be another thing, too, where I don't remember Notre Dame being great. Notre Dame's really good right now, and Marcus Freeman has them playing better than they have mostly in my lifetime.
Sure.
And I remember, I don't remember games in the mid-'90s, but...
I mean, obviously, Holtz led to the championship in '88, and they had the Catholics versus convicts thing was big. But right before that, though, it was Jerry Faust coming from the high school ranks to take over Notre Dame, and that was a disaster. And so, Holtz was the first time I remember Notre Dame being relevant, but I've seen enough movies that I know that they were relevant.
So again, that's one of a couple games that we'll have our eyes on tonight. You've also got LSU at Alabama. I don't know what LSU is going to be anymore, but that would be fun to watch them upset the Tide.
In Tuscaloosa, yeah.
Can they regroup with an interim group like Penn State did?
Wasn't that, UCLA did the same thing. UAB, after they fired Trent Dilfer, handed Memphis its only loss on the season. So there's hope there. At 7 o'clock, a couple of games that I've got interest in. California's at Louisville, a traditional ACC matchup.
Of course it is.
And Virginia's got Wake Forest. So those two are both with one loss on the season. Virginia's the only unbeaten team in conference play, even though they have a loss to an ACC team. Make that make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the committee hates the ACC, is what we saw this past Tuesday. Because they're getting the conference champion in. And that's probably deserved because the two biggest teams in the conference, I would argue, Florida State and Clemson, are relegated to the ACC network tonight.
It's where they should be.
It's where they should be.
You're
it's
right,
just where those two marquee programs have fallen on their face.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's the ACC is like if you went and ripped the mask off Scooby-Doo style and ripped off the Big 12 mask, you see the ACC underneath it. That's who the ACC really is. They're now worse than the Big 12.
They'd have gotten away with it too.
Yes, if it weren't for you kids. You snoopy teenagers.
I mean, like the U maybe will do it next year. Like the U could be back next year. Miami's beaten Syracuse 31-3. And I can't imagine anybody coming out and be like, well, you got to think about Miami. You don't, because Syracuse lost to North Carolina last week. So even though with a number next to their name, the U can be back later. We talked about Oregon and Iowa. The Ducks lead right now 15-10 with 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter from Kinnick Stadium. It's been a monsoon out there right now. I think it's still raining a little bit, which is a house of horrors. If you're
horrors with an H.
Horrors.
Thank you. Just want to make sure. I don't know.
You didn't have to correct me. I didn't think I said it.
No, I didn't say
I just wanted to jumble over it that bad.
I just want to make sure. I've never been to Des Moines.
I misspeak a lot. Well, that's very true.
I don't know what kind of place that is out there.
A house that has not been kind
House
to
of
teams
danger.
with single digits next to their names.
That's fair.
Going in and the lights are on.
They just picked up a 4th down and 5, I think it was, Iowa did. And now they're knocking on the door now. It's 2nd and goal now.
Iowa is the Big Ten's lone hope, I think, for a 4th team into the college football playoff.
But does it knock Oregon out?
No.
You don't think so?
I think a 2-loss Oregon would still be in.
Okay.
But it would be hairy.
Yes.
Because I do think there's some SEC cannibalization that remains. Texas A&M is going to move to 9-0, 6-0 in conference play right now. They're up 31-10 over Missouri. There's 7.5 minutes left to go. Auburn is leading Vanderbilt. The Tigers have a 29-24 lead there. So, Reimer, to your point also that an interim coach comes in and there's a little bit of a spark, but I never bought into the Vanderbilt thing. Like Diego Pavia is a fun story and Vanderbilt's good, but that's a program that hit its head on the ceiling and now is just back down to earth.
You think if LSU or Florida miss out on Kiffin, they will go and try to get a Clark Lee and Diego?
Clark Lee, Brent Key. I mean, I think there's several of those coaches.
But like Clark Lee and like a Diego combo package.
Diego still have an eligibility left?
Okay, this is it. He is trying to get a 7th season. This is a 6th one.
Oh, buddy.
He is campaigning for his 7th. Could you imagine? Dr. Diego.
That's what I was wondering. Like, what is eligibility anymore?
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
As long as you got a lawyer. Because someone had asked earlier this week about Lincoln and whether or not he hits the transfer portal in the offseason. Yeah. I think right now he does. But I could also see, because the portal is now just a 1-week thing in January.
Sure.
Or at least that's what it's been established. I think they've still got to vote on it.
Yeah.
But who's going to stop him if he wants to go in December before you get on a college football playoff run? You just get a lawyer, and the NCAA will be like, that's fine.
Yeah, right. I know. No, you're right. The eligibility stuff means nothing anymore. It means nothing. It really does.
Not if you have a good lawyer.
Not if you have a good lawyer, yes.
If you're a team in the FCS or probably group of 5, then maybe a little bit more. But yeah, that's what's.
I think Jess Settles paved the way for that when he had like 8 years in college. He played Iowa for like 8 years. Wasn't that Jess Settles?
Sounds right.
And then who's the guy? Robbie, the guy from Purdue, does the broadcast now.
Robbie Hummel?
Robbie Hummel. Seemed like he was at Purdue for like 7 years.
He was there for a while.
He was there for so long.
I think Miami had a tight end that was playing his 9th year of college football, but he'd gotten caught injuries into COVID, and you come out with the medical red shirts and the COVID extra COVID.
What about Perry Ellis at Kansas? The guy that everyone turns to with being in college for forever.
Well, you saw what the college basketball's doing now, right? There's a couple of guys who played 2 years in the G League that are now playing college basketball. They're going to play college basketball next year. The kid for Louisville.
So eligible for Louisville next year?
Yes, eligible for Louisville next year.
Ohio State's, picked a guy, Grucic. Did I say his name properly?
Yeah, Grucic, yep.
He played 2 years professionally in Spain, and you're ready to come back and take intro to calculus?
I just can't wait to see
Come on, let's have this honest conversation.
I can't wait to see the first father-son combo in college football history to play on the same team. Something like that happening.
Yeah, maybe. And if that was to be the case, they'd play for Miami.
They would play for Miami. Yes, they would. They would play for Miami, yes.
The U not back. Ohio State didn't go anywhere. The Buckeyes, 34-10 winners over Purdue. We'll hear from Ryan Day coming up next because I need a cigarette. It's College Game Night on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
At Giant Eagle, we believe in better, and that includes finding more ways to help you save. Because finding a good deal is everyone's deal. Because every dollar and every moment counts. Because value you can count on is priceless. On sale this season at Giant Eagle, you'll find lower prices to the end of the year on favorites like Honeycrisp apples, Oreo cookies, eggs, and more. Giant Eagle, because it matters. Limited time only through 12/31/25. Prices and participation may vary.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Who go to geteco.com.
Bank of America is a nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Columbus. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Looking for a bottle of the best blended whiskey in America? Well, look no further than High Bank Distillery Co. Their Whiskey War Barrel Proof won this prestigious title at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. That's the most prestigious spirits competition in the world. From their classic Whiskey War to Double Oak to my personal favorite, the Cigar Cask, there is something for everyone. Find a bottle near you and learn more at highbankdistillery.com. Drink the best, forget the rest.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Hey, Columbus. It's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and now my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Ride off, then write off when you take advantage of the year-end tax break offers at Bobcat Enterprises. Right now, Bobcat has 0% financing for 60 months on compact tractors. Use tax code deductions to maximize your reinvestment power and gain a competitive edge for 2026. Plus, you can lease, finance, or directly purchase equipment and still apply for the tax deduction. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville, or see our full line of products at bobcatent.com today. Offer expires 12/31/25.
Thanksgiving is a time to come together, eat together, and share together. And Meijer is making it easier than ever to share more good. During the week of Thanksgiving, November 23rd through the 29th, when you buy Meijer brand Fredericks by Meijer, Purple Cow, or True Goodness Foods, our Simply Give program will provide a meal to help feed up to 4 million neighbors in need. It's the simple way to put the giving and Thanksgiving together. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com for details. One meal equals 25 cents based on an average meal cost from select Meijer food pantry partners. Learn more at Meijer.com/aboutmeijer/community.html.
Jake Diebler's Buckeyes are back at the shot for a matchup with App State. And yes, they still beat Michigan.
Live fan coverage starts Tuesday night at 5:30, right after Common Man and Timmy.
Your home for the Buckeyes, the Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
This is Fan College Football Game Night, your home of all things football.
All you boys think about is football.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
A wet streak on the camera lens might overturn an Iowa 2-point conversion. So the Hawkeyes run it in for the touchdown and then have Mark Gronowski throw to try to put Iowa up. What would it be? There would have been 7. No.
There would have been 3.
3, thank you.
3, yep.
Now they're up 3. 18-15 over Oregon.
Wasn't it 15-10? I thought that was no good. They'll probably push it back then, won't they?
No, I didn't see the score, but I'm really bad at math.
I think it's 16.
I think it was 16-15.
16-15.
Yeah.
So now Iowa leads by 1. Yeah, they tried to back up the end zone. I mean, Iowa throwing the ball is throwing me off, I think is what we're finding out here. Like Iowa's competent offense is something I did not expect. I still, again, think, and what Oregon needs now is Washington to continue to climb, because if this sticks with Iowa leading 16-15, you got Washington right now up 10-3 over Wisconsin. If the Huskies, who Oregon meets at the end of the season, can climb their way up, then maybe a 2-loss Oregon, you can argue for a spot in the college football playoff.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
But that still has to happen because you got 2 minutes left to go, and Oregon has the ball. It is raining in Kinnick Stadium. I might have killed Vanderbilt too soon. The Commodores have now tied things with Auburn 30-all at 14 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter from Nashville. Texas A&M still leads number 22 Missouri 31-17. The Aggies have about 5 minutes left to go before they are likely 9-0 on the season. That is where your Buckeyes sit after a 34-10 win over Purdue today. This was the first time all season that Ohio State failed to cover the spread. Buckeyes were the only team in college football undefeated against the number. They were 30.5-point favorites. If you are someone who is much better at math than me, and that's everybody's much better at math than me, you factor that wasn't the case. But look, for Ohio State, defensively, I cannot ask anything of this team because Davis and Igbinosun every couple of games is going to get a pass interference call. Today was that day.
I know.
But they also were able to intercept Purdue. They were also able to, in moments where Purdue there were 2 drives, I think, where Purdue was trying to get something going against Ohio State's ones, and the Silver Bullets put the clamps down. And just 3 points just out of that first drive, and you go 2 quarters, you go that middle 8 with as dominating defense, the dominating defense you've come to expect from Matt Patricia and the Silver Bullets.
Does it surprise you at all that they didn't give up a point until that last drive after the field goal?
No.
Not either. I would have been more surprised if Purdue would have scored again. I'd have been more surprised if Purdue would have scored again on one of those drives.
It was one of those instances where you kind of start looking at chores you need to do or other games that are on or prepping for this show, and your eyes kind of drift away from Big Ten Network.
Right.
And look, that's what's going to happen for the Buckeyes over the next couple of weeks. And I know you've got NBC next Saturday night at 7.
Yep.
I'm not sure where the Rutgers game is going to be. We're still waiting on the time for that kick. Screams 3:30. I haven't taken a look at other
I'm looking at the Big Ten games right now for that week. Hang on, let me give a look here. I want to see this now because now you bring that up. I want to see here.
So you're getting into for what, November?
We're looking at the November 23rd?
Yeah.
22nd, whatever it is. Let me see here. It's the 22nd. The other Big Ten games that day. Here we go. So you got to figure out now, where will Big Noon be?
And you've also got to factor in the time of the day because Oregon hosts USC.
Which cannot be.
No. Can't do that at Big Noon.
Right. Can't do Washington, UCLA.
Cannot do that either.
Yep. So that's what we're looking at. Noon. It's a noon kick, probably, right?
Well, either that or it's your 3:30.
I got you. It could be. It feels like a big noon. It's going to be a big noon thing.
I also, Tito.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the 1 o'clock kick today.
Oh, I didn't either.
Because it did give you time.
Yeah.
There were the 2 games, Indiana and Iowa.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember the other game that I had on, but you had an hour.
Yeah.
Little hour buffer.
Was it St. John's in Alabama?
Was not any of the college. I've not watched any college basketball today, Jacob Reimer.
I know, Jacob. Come on, man. The best thing that happened to me is Ohio State's first game being on BTN Plus because I had an excuse not to watch it, or I would have watched it. That was the best thing in the world.
Or you could have just listened to it right here on the Fan.
I did listen to it on the Fan. That's why I did have it on. I had it on in the background.
Paul and Ron.
Yeah, it was.
Of the game. I'm trying to think, is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday. App State.
They got App State.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll also, is that another BTN Plus thing?
That one is. Actually, it's BTN Plus. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
At the beginning of the season, I sat down and I had a calculator this time, so I made sure to properly math which of the streaming services would have, it's just the better value for what they provide.
Right.
And I found that the Hulu with the live sports option is the best.
Okay.
And price-wise, it's not the cheapest, but it gives me Big Ten, all the pluses. It gives me ESPN without having to they're not getting into a fight with itself.
Right, yeah.
The mouse owns Hulu.
Sure.
And you've got ESPN, you've got all of the Big Ten, you've got the Turner package, so I don't need to get HBO Max. And it's done me really well so far.
I have a feeling that those services love me. I have no idea in hell how much I'm paying out into who and who's double dipping. I don't have any idea. I don't really watch that much. Like usually stuff I watch, I've got a YouTube TV subscription that anyway, but nonetheless. And so, but I don't really, it's not like I'm sitting there watching a bunch of other shows and movies. It's typically just live sports is all I watch.
And I think that's why this YouTube TV ESPN thing's gone so far. Gone as far as it has. Yeah. Where you kind of thought like the first weekend of college football, less YouTube TV subscribers, they get it done.
Yeah.
But they're able to leverage like just how much people want really only live sports.
Right. Yeah.
Because everything else, like you're not channel surfing anymore.
No.
I think Bo Bishop's the only person that actively channel surfs. And I think he channel surfs from sports to whatever's on AMC. It might be Gladiator, it might be Shawshank.
Right.
So one of like those, there's like 5 movies that they always show.
Yeah,
Heat. Maybe.
Typically, I am out like I'm watching something until something like we see the thing. I'll flip around all the time. I don't say channel surf, but I web surf. I guess is what I do.
I guess technically you are if they're streaming.
I'll get on the I watch Red Zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on one of my other TVs, I'm gonna have like the Steelers game or whatever. But yeah, I'll do a lot of that. So, and while I'm on my phone and stuff like that, not paying attention to my family.
And I think between like 99 and 2004, Ohio State played Michigan at 1 o'clock. And then there were a bunch of bowl games, obviously, that start at 1 o'clock. For Ohio State, the last regular season game, not Michigan, was a 1:30 kick against Bowling Green in 97.
Okay. Well, back then, Reese, way back when there was only be on TV twice a year in the Big Ten, Ohio State's home games were 1:30 kicks.
So
that's what they were.
After I, watched this game today, I felt like, I could do Ohio State against Purdue at 1 o'clock, Ohio State against Rutgers at 1 o'clock.
Sure.
Now you can't do, obviously the Fox and CBS, they prioritize the Buckeyes. That's everybody's first pick.
Right.
But
the NFL used stagger times. There'd be times
more of that.
There'd be like a 1 o'clock, then like a 2 o'clock game. Also, like they would stagger those times a little bit too back then, which was, so it wasn't just locked into 1 o'clock, or now 1:05, 4:25 night game. It was, you had some staggered times way back when. It's been a long time. But yeah, I enjoyed it today with the staggered time.
It was Texas Tech and BYU, the other game that I had on, and it was suffocating Texas Tech defense. I think BYU in 7 or 8 games this season has come back down double digits.
Yeah.
So going into the fourth quarter, I think BYU scores a touchdown. They go, come the Cougars again. But I think Texas Tech's legit. I do think BYU's right there with them. I think the committee likes the Big 12 certainly much more than they like the ACC.
I think so too.
So I think BYU and Texas Tech, if that is your Big 12 championship, then I think they might reward both teams again into the college football playoff. Certainly they won't come out and say we're not going to penalize the loser of the conference championships like they did last season.
Right.
But, if it is BYU and they get a second loss to Texas Tech, that would, in my opinion, be cause to disqualify the Cougars. Because
I think so.
If you're not beating the champion of the conference, like maybe you're good.
Right.
And certainly Bear Bachmeier's a fun story.
He's a fun story. You're right. He is a fun story, yes.
But maybe we get over that this year.
Yeah, I think that they did a lot of stuff on him and his brother in the pregame thing, and that was all pretty
Tiger
cool.
Bachmeier.
Yeah, Tiger and Bear. I don't know. But it's a good story. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if two Big 12 teams will get it. It's so much going to depend on these conference championship games. I know they won't ever do it, Reese, because we know what money means.
Yeah.
But the conference championship games, they don't mean anything to me anymore. I don't care about them. I really since you don't have two divisions, it's just like, it's just going to be the one. It's the top two teams in the 8-team division playing against each other, conference playing against each other. I don't know. It just I don't think that it means as much. And plus the fact that I get the 12-team playoff, I would rather start the playoffs a week earlier if we can, and get rid of the conference championship games. Because
Ohio State hasn't been in Indianapolis in what feels like a long time, you do kind of sound like Michigan fans in the Rich Rod era, being like, "Oh, we're a basketball school." Oh, I don't really care about the Big Ten. Well, because Ohio State fan, like you haven't been in Ohio,
right? Yeah, right.
I think the Big Ten championship means so much to this Ohio State team, so much to this coaching staff. You'll hear from Ryan Day following Ohio State's 34-10 win. Coming up next, it's College Game Night on the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Whoo, go to geteco.com.
Hey there, you've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine. You could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt. But you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. But listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. That's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. Cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. Imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt, and you can stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. Get your all-cash offer now. Call 1-855-300-9993. Again, that's 1-855-300-9993, or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. This is the Fan's Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. Another stress-free day for the top-ranked Ohio State football team. They moved to 9-0 with today's 34-10 win over Purdue. Julian Sayin completed 27 of his 33 passes for 303 yards and a touchdown pass. Jeremiah Smith with a monster day of 10 catches for 137 yards and a touchdown. The Buckeyes return to the shoe next Saturday in a primetime matchup against UCLA. Also in college football, number 2 Indiana survives in Happy Valley with a late touchdown to beat Penn State 27-24. Texas Tech rolls BYU 29-7 in the top 10 Big 12 clash. Just finishing up in the Big 10, number 9 Oregon now leads number 20 Iowa 18-16 after a made field goal by the Ducks in the final minute in Iowa City. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is Fan College Football Game Night. Scores, recaps, and hot takes.
Damn, I love football.
Hot. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
You heard it from Jake Reimer. The theme of the day, survive and advance. And the Oregon Ducks do just that. A last-second field goal sends number 9 Oregon past Iowa 18-16 at Kinnick Stadium. And so the Ducks improved to 8-1 on the day. You had Indiana surviving the late touchdown passes you heard Jacob Reimer say there in the update. Now the Hoosiers, for the second straight year, 10-0 under Kurt Cignetti, for the first time all time, winning a game in Happy Valley. So though those two teams surviving, advancing, Ohio State winning today, I do think, Tito, those are your Big Ten representatives into the college football playoff. And I think that's where it stops.
I think you're probably right.
You'll have the second college football playoff rankings and bracket out Tuesday night, probably before or after one of Jacob Reimer's college basketball games.
Yeah.
That's what they do. It's either the lead-in or it's the go-between.
It is Kentucky-Louisville next Tuesday.
That's happening?
Yep.
Yeah, of course you know it.
And then the following one is Champions Classic.
Champions Classic, yep. Of course he knows it. Of course he knows it.
What is the Champions
He's like
Classic?
Rain Man,
what are these
dude.
things? It's not.
It's when they do it from the games. I don't know if you remember that, where they'll do it in the break of, like, it's Kentucky.
Yeah, they'll take like a half hour to give you college football playoff.
Yeah, the 4 teams are like Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, Michigan State, and they'll do it in between the 2 games.
I thought about it earlier today where if you're the athletic director for Ohio State, this is too much Purdue. This is really too much Indiana over the past couple of days.
Sure.
Because you had IU Indianapolis, and you had Purdue Fort Wayne, and then you had actual Purdue on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's take a step back from all of this Purdue-ness. All of the too much Indiana. This was Johnny Depp's character. He was John Derringer.
I have absolutely nothing I want to do in Indiana.
And I feel the same way.
Do they still do they change their clocks back, or did they start doing that again? I know Arizona doesn't. I don't know if Indiana used to not do it. I don't know if they do it now. They're like the other ones that battle us on the daylight savings thing.
That would be a very Indiana thing to do.
You meant to speak communist, but yes.
But for Ohio State, and really the job was to go in and win and stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And you had, obviously at this point in the year, everybody's dealing with something, whether it's enough to keep them out of the game. I think that's a case-by-case basis. And certainly with Carnell Tate, there wasn't anything this week that alerted anybody to him not being available for the game against Purdue. And certainly him going out there in warm-ups was not in the availability report. You had Joshua Padilla, I think was the only Buckeye of note to make the availability report, so he did not play today. And then Phillip Daniels was dressed, but I think during warm-ups they decided that he was not going to go as well. It took a little bit in the broadcast for them to really kind of acknowledge Carnell Tate's
I got
absence.
texts from 2 people at the game saying, hey, what are they saying about Tate? And I'm like, I don't know.
They didn't say anything.
Yeah, nothing yet. I know Ryan Day probably won't say it. Maybe he does. You've got the sound in front of you. But if it's a Michigan game, I got to believe Tate plays.
If today is against that team up north, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is when he's out there without his helmet, I think to myself, okay, there's maybe something disciplinary.
Yeah.
Because nobody knew, or nobody knew anything, or nobody had said anything. And then when they obviously come on the broadcast and you see guys that you follow who cover the team on a daily basis say that the school says it's for precautionary reasons, I think to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and okay, if he's dealing with a tight hamstring and they see him in warm-ups and he just doesn't have the same giddy up, or he doesn't cut out of breaks easy, then I think, that's probably the right move. You take his helmet away, you put him on ice.
Like you said, they're playing for November and December and January.
The season hasn't really started.
Yeah.
I mean, you started with your Daytona 500.
That's so funny.
You had Texas. Right. You were supposed to have Penn State, but I don't think they've won a game since September.
Right.
And so for Ryan Day, he was asked after the game if their game plan changes too much without Carnell Tate out there.
No, I mean, what we try to do is we try to, figure out how we're going to attack each game, what we're trying to get done. You could see that the emphasis in this game was to try to get these back some carries and establish the run and continue to work on that. And, when Carnell was unavailable, that certainly changed things quickly on, some of the things that we had. But it was still, for Jeremiah to still have the impact he did, not having Carnell on the other side of the ball, it just speaks volumes to what he does and just how impactful he got. It goes without saying. But when you don't have Carnell out there, it is a little different, and so that does change things a little bit. But good to see Max get some plays, Brandon have an impact on the game, and then the running backs got to do their deal. So, we always want to score as many points as we can, but we also need to continue to improve in certain areas, and that was certainly an emphasis point in this game.
And so when Carnell, they factor him out, there probably be a couple of plays like, we probably won't do that today.
Yeah,
we'll probably save that. But Jeremiah Smith's still there, and Jeremiah Smith's the ultimate college football cheat code. 10 receptions for 137 yards and a touchdown. There's no real drop-off when he's the focal point of your offense.
No.
And for your quarterback, Julian Sain, 27 to 33, 303 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Of course, you'd like to have the interception back, but I do think it's a great teaching moment.
It is. And you look at what he had another reception in the end zone. Who was that against? Or right near the end zone, right?
I want to say it was against Ohio.
OU, I think it was. Yeah, right.
So it was the last time he threw a pick.
Okay, yeah, and that's what it was. Right, that was the one where it was like kind of on the sideline over there, right near the. I don't know if it was in the end zone or by the end zone. It was down there deep, right?
Well, it was in the red zone.
Yeah.
And so I think we'll continue that discussion.
Yeah.
Probably only forever.
Right. Yeah.
About Ohio State. And I don't want to call it a struggle, but if you have an area of concern, for me, it's what Ohio State turns into between the 20 and the goal line.
What's the old record for Ohio State completion percentage in a season, I wonder? I remember I was talking to Clay Hall and Tim May about this the other day, because we were wondering about like who had the record. And because they had an interview with Bobby Hoying they did for their podcast. But Hoying, though, I know was like 55% or 60% one year. And like everyone in Ohio State thought that was the most amazing thing. And now you got Sain at over 80%.
Yeah, 81.8 for Julian in the game today.
81.6 for the season, right? Or is that what for the season? What is it for the season? 80.7 for the season. That's what it is, yeah.
So at a level that you knew he was going to be able to do this, but I don't know if we all thought it would look like this 8-9 games in.
Right.
I don't know how anybody could have foreseen this. I think there was an idea. Certainly when you go into the transfer portal and you pluck him out and you make him join a quarterback room that's full of 5 alphas.
Right.
He's a kid from Carlsbad, California.
If Sain's on Indiana and Mendoza's at Ohio State, how much different are their seasons, or are they?
Indiana, in terms of wins and losses, probably looks the same. I don't know about Ohio State.
Yeah.
I actually think both teams have the same records. I think.
Yeah.
They just look, for Indiana, Indiana probably looks like, I don't know, because of Jeremiah.
Right.
Jeremiah is the ultimate X factor in this, because Indiana has some real talent.
Right.
They can run the ball really well. They have a complementary defense.
Right.
Jeremiah is that difference.
Yeah.
But both of them are still 9-0. Or, well, Indiana's 10-0. Ohio State with 2 bye weeks on the season. They will be 10-0 after next Saturday night's game against UCLA. That'll be a home game. I don't think they've announced any fun things for it.
For the UCLA game?
Yeah.
I don't think they have yet either.
7:30 kick on NBC, maybe a theme.
I think probably the theme would be you can probably buy tickets for $5 right outside the stadium because people be selling them like crazy because UCLA.
I wonder about that because I thought there would be some attrition late in the Penn State game, and they kept 105,000 throughout.
They did, yeah.
Now, maybe that's because it's Penn State, but I don't know.
I think Penn State's weatherproof. I don't think UCLA is weatherproof. here. I'm saying like if a UCLA game.
Yeah,
if it's I don't know
that's
what
a
the weather's
good
gonna be like.
point out of you because as I watch Oregon, who they escaped Iowa City with a win today, Ohio State hasn't really played in element games.
Right.
It's been pretty nice weather.
Yeah, right.
I don't remember a game that even had remote drizzle. There have been cloudy games. Today was cloudy. There's never sun in Indiana.
No, that's why I put that tweet out there. What a surprise! It dark. It's like cloudy, overcast in West Lafayette. Oh my God, who would have seen that?
So if
coming?
you're trying to manufacture things for your quarterback, you go, "Wow, I'd like him to play in the rain once," or like, and he'll get his chance to play in cold weather. Certainly, it'll be that way on the 29th in Ann Arbor.
I'm looking at the 10-day forecast. So for next Saturday,
you can't do that a week out, man. Not here.
Well, we're talking about snow on Monday here, snow showers.
That is in the forecast. Okay. I think it's a 10 TV weather alert day.
That's right.
So be alert.
Yes, be alert. We might have winter weather
we could do.
in November. But right now it's calling for 60 degrees on Saturday next week.
Yeah, that sounds like Ohio in November. But for
you're right.
Ohio State, Ryan Day has talked about efficiency all season. That continues after a 24-point win.
Efficiency is what we're looking for, and when you do that, we've got to finish off drives like we did a bunch today. But then also, we had the 2 drives there in the second half where we were efficient in controlling the game. Turn the ball over once and then kick the field goal, and so that was only 3 points. So there were times where we got to be explosive in the game, but overall, I thought we played complimentary football. It was a good team win.
And for the drives in the second half, you were through this game, and you'll think for the next couple of weeks, you get as many young guys in there in situations where you might not have a Carnell Tate available, so Bryson Rogers steps up. If Joshua Padilla is out, and if Philip Daniels can't go, then Ian Moore steps in, and you give these guys opportunities to grow their game against other people.
Just looking at those guys, and I think that they wanted to play, but we just felt like in this moment, we know we got a lot of football ahead of us. It was an opportunity for some other guys to step up, and so it was good to see, Brandon Ennis, he got 3 catches. Bryson Rogers had 2 catches for 30 yards. It was good to see Milan come back after the missed opportunity in the first half and come up with a big catch. So that was good. But still, not having Carnell out there and still seeing Jeremiah have 10 catches for 137. I mean, just the impact he has on these games is obvious.
It was Milan Graham who didn't catch the ball over the middle.
Right.
But when you don't have a Carnell Tate, then it gives the opportunity for other guys to step up in it.
Yes, and it's when we talked earlier about the Carnell Tate thing, we brought it up. Didn't really change the game plan. No, it doesn't, because you've got studs everywhere.
You've recruited so well that I don't think anybody bats an eyelash.
Do you think that what Jim Knowles is experiencing and what Chip Kelly is experiencing would make Matt Patricia pause before considering an NFL job or another DC job after the season?
I don't.
Really?
No. I think everybody's in their own individual situations. I don't even know what Matt Patricia's desires are.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like Chip Kelly took the money to go to the Raiders.
Yes.
And they look bad. And the offense looks awful.
Yeah.
And that's on him to some extent. Sure. Okay, good to Paul Speaker. And if he stays at Ohio State and he gets coached with these weapons again, maybe it's a better job he could get offered than the Raiders' DC job. Money-wise, might not be the same. Might be a better situation, though. And Knowles, a new coach is coming in there. And it's
Jim Knowles is not going to be coordinating Penn State's defense next season.
You think he's going somewhere else?
I think they clean house.
I would expect them to, yeah.
Because to your point, they bring in someone new who wants to bring in their own guys.
Yeah. I wonder about that. Like if those guys, because you see those guys get the situation right now versus where they were a year prior, if it would make them pause at all before deciding if they want to move on or not.
It'll be interesting because, you had with Knowles and Chip Kelly, they were both guys up in the box.
Yeah.
And that's where they coached from. But here you've got Matt Patricia on the sidelines. He's interacting with everybody. He seems like he's having the time of his life.
I know.
And so I think there's a lot to that where you have a guy that has a ton of money.
Right.
Right. And has done it at every level. And now is getting to enjoy kind of both.
Yeah.
Where you're doing unprecedented winning at the college level and you're being compensated, I would say, fairly.
Yeah.
For defensive coordinator at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I think it just goes back to what's his why. to what does he want to do in 2 years. Because I think it's this year and I think next year. And I think he's out of the Ohio State car wash. And he could probably have his pick of any job in the NFL or in college if he's able to stack two historic college football defenses. Now, we said it last year. It's going to be a tough ask to follow up last year's defense with this year's defense. But so far, so good. And then next year, how do you follow this up?
Right. Is Ryan Day the new Nick Saban as far as rehabilitating coaching careers?
I don't know if he's quite there yet, but I think he's got a trajectory of...
I think he does too, yeah.
You would have needed Chip Kelly to kind of work it out.
Right, yeah.
Because I don't know what his shelf life is now that Las Vegas is so bad.
Right.
And then similarly, and I don't know if you attach too much to Jim Knowles and Ryan Day's coaching tree, and I guess it's not too fair to do with Chip Kelly either because it was 1 year.
Right.
But that's... Of the many of the many things, we're very interested to see what happens with this group post, January 20th?
Yeah.
I would just say enjoy what's to come in the next week, enjoy what's to come in the next month, and understand that we are watching probably one of the greatest to ever wear the scarlet and gray in Jeremiah Smith and a damn good quarterback in Julian Sane. For Julian, and for keeping this Heisman race going, he had statistical accumulation that was good today. When might he get his moment? We'll discuss that next. College Game Night on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates, attorneys who care.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Remember that rush you got as a kid ripping open your favorite pack of cards? Well, guess what? You can feel it again at Midwest Cards. Right next to Nationwide Arena, this place is a collector's dream with thousands of packs from all eras. Chase that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, pull a rare Michael Jordan, or even hit your favorite Pokemon and relive that childhood thrill. Plus, you can shop their pack wall, kick back in their roomy sports lounge, or even bring in your old cards to sell or trade. Get to Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again HVAC technicians.
Who go to geteco.com.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
When the coach speaks, we listen. Ryan Day's weekly press conference comes your way every Tuesday at noon.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at rain showers that move back into the region tonight and continue into your Sunday. Temperatures overnight dropping into the low 40s. We should see temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for your Sunday, but falling as we head towards Sunday night. Rain will start to mix with snow, turning to all snow on Monday. We are expecting some accumulation, so make sure you're using caution on the roads. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Hot takes from the early games, bad predictions for the nightcaps. This is Fan College Football Game Night.
Yes, it is. Reeser, Tito, Reimer. You heard Ben Behrens talk about accumulation. Michael Behrens. Frank Behrens.
Red Behrens.
Red Behrens. Talk about accumulation. That's what Julian's saying. That's the name of the game right now.
Accumulation.
You got to stat accumulate. You have to throw touchdowns. You have to throw for a bunch of yards. You have to make pretty balls to Jeremiah Smith in the end zone. Because you're not going to have too many games for the next. You're not going to have any real. You're not going to have any chance in the next couple of weeks to really make a moment. And that's what Fernando Mendoza was able to do today.
Two things in the chat.
Uh-huh.
You're nuts, Tito. Saying the throws aren't great. It's the catch. SMH, wow. All I said was we usually give the receiver credit for the play when it comes to saying. Because he hasn't had the Mendoza moment yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all. And the other thing I said something about
you are crazy.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'll take that. They talked about also Zoo Review said that Star Wars shirt is elite.
Oh, well, thank you.
I didn't realize it was Star Wars until he said that.
Too. Really? What did you think it was?
I don't pay attention to people's clothes that much. I just thought it was like a bunch of. So it was like like a splattering of like graffiti or something.
I do think in some instances where you're saying you're giving the receivers a ton of credit for making incredible plays.
Right.
It's taken almost as you're slighting the quarterback.
Right.
I don't think in that moment you were slighting the quarterback. Because if you were, it'd be crazy.
Yes, that would be crazy. I do say crazy stuff. There's no doubt about that.
Two throws today I would have liked Jeremiah to have, or Julian to have back.
Okay.
Like he sailed one over Max Clare, and then he obviously threw an interception. Right. Interception might have been before he sailed it to Max Clare, which they were trying really hard to get the ball to Max Clare this afternoon.
Yes.
And I approve of that.
Yeah, me too. I'm fine with that. By the way, I saw somebody else put on Twitter that they thought about going across state lines to place a bet on Max Clare with an anytime touchdown, which would have been a great bet.
Yes,
you can't do it here in Ohio.
No.
It didn't happen, but I would have done the same thing, though. If there was a bet out there I could have made today, Max Clare anytime touchdown, I would have taken it.
I did wonder, with the situation there, where the first goal line situation, the one where CJ takes it in. The play before that, you're handing it off to Nate Roberts.
I know.
Is Nate Roberts the guy that's like the Iron Warrior in practice? Is he doing all the lifts?
Yes, he must be.
Or is he maxing out all of the lifts? Because, boy, they really liked him today. And I think that is a factor of right now in the tight end room, you really want to, I think, reward these guys for all the dirty work they've been doing this season.
And that's the time to reward them, yes.
I think so, too. But maybe if you're going to hand the ball off to a tight end, hand it off to Max Clare.
Look, I still remember back to Super Bowl 20 when Fridge scored 2 touchdowns and Peyton scored none. And I thought that was going to happen today. I thought, give it to Claire. Give Claire a shot to score against Purdue.
For Julian, it's going to be more games like this over the next 2 weeks. 27-33, 303 yards. You score a touchdown. You like to clean up those interceptions. Sure. But I think even before that red zone pick, he had thrown like 173 completions without turning the ball over. So Julian's doing, I think, everything that he needs to make the case for the Heisman. Now, he's certainly, I think, booked his trip to New York. Like, he can probably start to make arrangements for that to be at the ceremony. But he's going up against Fernando Mendoza, who will be one of those guys. And I think Fernando had his moment today. Certainly coming back, his interception in the fourth quarter allowed Penn State to go ahead.
Right.
And then they traded some punts, and here's the game's on the line, a minute left to go, a minute and change. All right, Fernando. I mean, Penn State got a sack on first down. It's like, all right, that's it.
Right, yeah.
But Mendoza led the Hoosiers down the field, and the only real play you're going to see all of that is the touchdown pass where his wide receiver taps 1 foot at the end of the end zone, and that's the go-ahead touchdown for Indiana, and that's what moves them to 10-0.
Who's your Heisman vote today? Today, who would get your vote number 1?
Julian Sain.
I can see that, yeah.
But I could be accused of having Buckeye blinders on, and I certainly wouldn't have the greatest.
I know. I don't think. I think that you could make a case for either one of those guys, as long as you don't throw like somebody else. If it's Sain, if it's Mendoza, if it's Jeremiah, I have no argument with you, none whatsoever. I'm not going to argue any of those things.
I think Ty Simpson's been really efficient for Alabama, and I certainly think he's in that conversation. I don't think Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah Love's the best running back in the country.
Yeah.
And so I always have like a soft spot.
Sure, yeah.
He's clearly the best, I think. Bo Jackson will be there in a year or two.
Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah.
But this is such a quarterback-driven thing because they make so much of a difference in these games.
Yeah.
Right now I've got Sain and Mendoza. And again, you could accuse me of being a homer because it's Jeremiah. Because Jeremiah's the best player in college football. So I can't, especially after some of the catches he made today.
I know.
Especially the catches he's made all season. I can't look at this every week where I watch Jeremiah and the college football that I watch around.
Yeah.
There's nobody better. There's just nobody better than Jeremiah Smith.
But it's not. That's the thing. It sucks about it. It's the best, like you mentioned earlier, the best player in college football doesn't usually win the Heisman. It really does not, as far as the best player. Because there's been times defensive players should have won it in the past and didn't.
I saw this from Ben Stevens, who covers the Big Ten. This is now the third road game this season. Fernando Mendoza's thrown a fourth quarter interception, and then with his team tied or trailing, responded by throwing the game-winning touchdown pass.
Oh, so
3 games in question: Iowa, Oregon, Penn State.
He's like Ricky Davison. He's going to throw up a shot and miss it on purpose to get his triple-double. That's all he's doing.
And it's those kind of moments that will stick in voters' minds because voters aren't going to be watching Ohio State, Purdue. Voters aren't, especially when it kicks off at 1 o'clock. You're watching Texas Tech, BYU.
Yes,
you're watching the aforementioned Hoosiers play at Penn State. But you're not watching Ohio State and UCLA. You're not going to be watching Ohio State and Rutgers.
Yeah.
So I think what Julie needs to keep doing is just stacking and accumulating stats, similarly with Jeremiah. Maybe once or twice have a ridiculous one-handed grab like he had last week against Penn State. That'll certainly help air in those Sports Center highlights.
Right.
The opportunity for Julian, the opportunity for Jeremiah will come on November 29th against Michigan, where everybody will be watching that.
Yes.
And that is what I think, regardless, I should say, of if those two teams, Ohio State and Indiana, meet in Big Ten championship game the following week in Indianapolis, what Julian's saying I think will do against Michigan will cement that for him. That's certainly the opportunity is where I would see it.
Yes, I think that will be the moment. Yes, because Ohio State's not going to be challenged against UCLA or Rutgers. There's no way they're getting challenged in those games at all.
What they will be challenged with is playing clean and not turning the ball over and not getting injured and getting it such a lead that they can bring in younger guys to have meaningful reps. That's, I think, the challenge for Ohio State because they're going to win out. Through to the Michigan game. I'm not ready to call Ohio State and Michigan just yet because I'm still very nervous about that one. You still got 2 weeks left to go, Buckeye fans. Your team is 9-0. A man who had eyeballs on all of the action today at Ross-Ade Stadium was Tyler Danberg. He joins us in 2 minutes on The Fan.
This November, Window Nation puts an end to your window problems. You'll save big, too, with 50% off all window styles. Plus, you could get 0 interest for 5 years. Hurry, the sale ends soon. So schedule your free estimate right now at windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Hey there, you've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine. You could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt. But you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. But listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. That's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. Cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. Imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt. And you can stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. Get your all-cash offer now. Call 1-855-300-9993. Again, that's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
You're kind of cute. Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tidy whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair. Dormar! You're kind of cute.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity. I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
You're listening to Fan College Football Game Night.
Yes, you are, and normally he would be joining us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, but we have a treat here in studio. Tyler Danberg joins us fresh off the road trip from West Lafayette, but it's nice to see you. Glad you made it back safe. How was, I'm assuming, your first official visit to Ross-Ade Stadium?
Yes, got to go there in 2023. First off, great to be with you guys. Did not stop by the Triple X restaurant, but heard their peanut butter burgers are absolutely legit. So next time.
Okay. I've not heard of that before.
No,
I know there's Uranus fudge on the border that you don't do, and then Rothman had a good one this morning, but I can't remember it.
I can't remember where I heard Triple X before, but I immediately thought that's not really a restaurant. That's actually like Cahoots. But you're saying it's an actual restaurant.
It's a restaurant.
Okay. All right.
It's good.
Okay.
Did it sound like an Ohio State home game?
It did.
Okay. Because it came out on the TV like that.
Yeah. If you look to the far side of the field, the only thing preventing it from being a complete Scarlet takeover was the Ross-Ade Brigade, the student section, which is so uniquely behind the opposing bench. And there's no separation between the sideline and the student section and really the crowd. I mean, it's tight. We're talking telephone booth. So credit to Ohio State for braving the Ross-Ade Brigade.
We were talking before you came on with us that this team's not really faced any elements. Like this year, you've gotten some pretty good game weather. Like you've gotten great every game almost.
Was Illinois probably the worst one?
It was windy.
But as far as,
But
it was 75 degrees in Illinois. Then Madison for October 18th, I think it was the 18th. It was the highest temperature in like 40 years on that day. And then today in Purdue, I mean, we're talking as good of a Big Ten football weather day as you can get for November.
When Julian Sane throws his first interception since September, what was the temperature of the head coach?
Well, I think the temperature, I wasn't really looking at Ryan Day, but you could tell that really nothing, like that bench doesn't get phased by much. But I got to see Julian Sane, really the three phases of Julian Sane before the toss, while the ball was in transit, and then when it was intercepted. And obviously, just by looking at him, there's a little bit of disappointment. There's a little bit of frustration. I think there's a little bit of calm, too, realizing that I want that one back. So, the the first thing that Julian Sain did when he got back to the sideline is he goes right over, puts on the headset, hears whatever he hears from the booth, whether that's Brian Hartline, Billy Fessler, or whomever it may be, and then he puts his head back in the iPad and goes to work. And I think that goes to show you the short-term memory that Julian Sain has, and the short-term memory that you have to have as a redshirt freshman quarterback who hasn't made many mistakes this year.
When were you aware that Carnell Tate was not likely to play?
You know, it's funny because I think it was mentioned, whether it was on air or off air, but I remember, I think it was Jim Lachey who pointed it out, that Carnell Tate has not been out there, because it's easy to get caught up either in the game action, or maybe you're going over to try and see maybe there's something that the defense is doing or something on the defensive side that could help you put together what it is your hit might be the next time out. So I think it was after Jim mentioned that Carnell Tate had not really been out, actually had not been out there on that first series, and then that's where the question marks started to rise.
Just looking, and I'm sure once everybody kind of notices it, because it's certainly, you know, Jeff Levering and Jake Butt on the Big Ten telecast, as soon as they mentioned it, or when they finally got around to it, it felt like a little bit of time had lapsed between the start of the game and a lot of camera shots of Carnell. And even in some that weren't like supposed to be Carnell, but Carnell was there just because he's ever present. Was there anything that you saw from him or from anybody's interactions with him during that game that would lead to any concern other than they're just keeping him on ice?
I don't think there was any concern. If anything, it went to show you how good of a teammate Carnell Tate is, because he never left the bench. He never left the sideline. It's fun because usually the wide receivers, they share a bench with the quarterbacks and they're all together. But Carnell Tate was real. I mean, he was just going everywhere. You know, with it, when Lincoln Keenels and Julian Sain were completing their warm-up tosses on the sideline with a couple of the wide receivers, Carnell Tate's over there talking to Lincoln and talking to Julian, and he was just ever present. And you know, talking to Bryson Rogers after the game, a wide receiver who stepped up and had to step up in some moments, had a big 19-yard catch. You know, they wanted to do that for their teammate, their guy. I mean, that's that next man up mentality of the wide receiver room. So I think my biggest takeaway from just seeing Carnell Tate, you know, still smiling, still present, talking to his quarterbacks, talking to his wide receiver teammates, you know, it goes to show you that he's a good teammate.
On that last drive by Purdue, what was like on the sideline among the defensive staff? Because as I'm watching, I'm thinking, Ohio State's not going to give a touchdown here. They're not going to let them score. They're not going to do it. But like, what was there what's the word I'm looking? Was there like a certain like sense of we've got to stop them? Was it like very much a tense moment? I know it's backups out there, but still, there's a certain pride thing in there as well.
Well, the pride goes into how you practice is how you play, and that is the type of practice that Ohio State has. You know, the twos get to go up against the ones. You know, it's good on good anywhere you go. So maybe there is a little bit of that sense of pride that's hanging in the balance. You know, as that drive was going on, we're heading over to the locker room, getting ready to make sure the setup's all good. You know, I'll go and meet with DR Railsback, and we'll start to get everything ready for the post game. So wasn't able to see that drive finish. Right. But I think the temperature was that, you know, they want to keep their foot on the brakes, and whether that's the Grambling State game when they were up 70-0, where the TV copy showed that Ryan Day was still as locked in on the final play compared to the first play from scrimmage. So you would have to think that there was a little bit of, maybe not frustration, I don't know if that's the word, but maybe there's a sense of, you know, we got to treat this play just like it's the first play from scrimmage.
Did you get a chance, I don't know how close you were to that Bo Jackson 70-yard touchdown run that gets called back for a block in the back? Did you get a chance to see it live and in real time, or did they show it on the screen at all? And did it look as soft to you as at least it did for me?
It certainly looked like it could have been a touchdown. Maybe it should have been a touchdown, depending on who you would ask. But, you know, I didn't really get to see the call unfold in real time because your attention gravitates towards
what's that like for
Bo
you
Jackson.
when there's something that's happening that you've got to get all of your attention to, and then there's a flag or there's some other action? I mean, you're focused on where the action is, less where the action was.
Right. And what you were seeing is you saw basically everybody go from 100 to 0, 100 being the climax of a big 70-plus yard touchdown on the first offensive play of the game, where this running game had really been looking for that big play, and they did get a 50-plus yard run last week, but that this was going to be really where things started to turn around into high gear, and then you get to see everybody start to question everything, and it was just really interesting to see the reaction of the play. And Ryan Day immediately realized what the call was going to be, and he was not happy, as rightfully so. You're the head coach, and you saw something that the officials didn't see. You are completely warranted to feel that way. So I think, and obviously they punted during that possession, but for them to score on 5 of their next 6 possessions, and the red zone interception maybe puts some red ink on what was a budding 14-play potential scoring drive. So they're going to want to be more efficient in the red zone, obviously, but they played really good offensive football from there on out after that punt.
What's the hardest part of your job down there? Does it same every week? Like, is it every week is like this is the hardest part, or does it vary on the conditions and vary on the opponent and vary on the stadium?
That's a great question, Tito. That's a great question. I haven't thought about that. But I think that the biggest thing is keeping things par for the course. It's wouldn't expect
professional,
anything,
right?
Wouldn't expect anything less from Jeff Thidoff. But no, that was a great question, Tito. And I think that keeping it fresh is one thing, because you could see the same play happen 5 times. You could see a different play every single time. That's what's unique about it. But I'd say keeping things fresh, and then also trying to see as many different parts of the field as you can, because that can get kind of tough, because you've got a cathedral of, well, in this case, 60,000 plus fans, Ohio Stadium, over 105,000, and you got to try and see something that the guys upstairs can't, or something that the fans can and nobody else can see. There's so many different angles that you can take. So I think that's the biggest challenge is trying to find something, or trying to find the most important thing that comes up, whether that's seeing something that might pertain to injuries that might be important, or to see, like Carnell Tate, for example. I mean, that was one of the stories of the game, but it's hard to see, 1. 2, it's hard to confirm that. So trying to navigate those situations is definitely one of the hardest parts of the job.
He joins us courtesy of the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, but he's actually live in studio with us. Tyler Danberg, the sideline reporter for the Ohio State Sports Network. It's a quick turnaround for you, bud, coming back from West Lafayette. And then tomorrow at the Schottenstein Center, I believe it's a 1 o'clock tip between the Ohio State women's basketball team and Coppin State. 12:45 coverage on the Fan 2. What can you tell our listeners out there what to expect from the team tomorrow? And then how excited are you for this season to get started? Are you going to sleep much?
Probably not.
Okay.
No, but that's the fun part. Yeah.
In May, yes, right.
Thank you, Rymer.
Basketball
Thank you, Jacob.
sickos.
Jacob's locked into Arkansas and Michigan State.
Of course he
as
is.
he should be, because it's a top 25 matchup.
We've missed 2 breaks while he's watching basketball over there, just so you know.
That is your college basketball insider, by the way, Jacob Reimer.
Yeah.
But no, I'd say that if you want to watch fun, fast-paced, run-and-gun style of basketball, this is your team. It is a fun brand, and I think there's a lot of positive unknowns, because there are some transfers that were brought in. They brought in one of the top 3-point shooters in the country last year in Tiana Todd. They brought in Kylie Kitts, who actually reclassified last year. She redshirted at Florida, but she adds a lot of length and size up front, and has good touch and good speed. And her sister is an All-American in Chloe Kitts at South Carolina. But I think that they wanted to be a fit. The way they built this team, they brought in players that would help add efficiency to the 3-point line. And And they've got that. And they have some size, too. They've got 2 6'4" forwards, Nella Hobbs in the aforementioned kits. They have Elsa Lemela, who's 6'6". She played a key role last year off the bench. Now she's going to take an elevated role. So they play, obviously, the full court press under Kevin McGuff in his 13th year.
40 minutes of hell. It's so much fun to watch. Yes, it is fun to watch.
Some may say that it's like West Virginia basketball, tougher than a weekend at your in-laws.
Absolutely. There we go. Get him involved.
But it's going to be a lot of fun.
I know I did.
Stop doing it. Stop looking at like the fire and be like, who's playing with those matches?
Exactly. Look, I'm like
Fidolf's over there with a lighter.
I'm left eye with the shoes. What happened to the bathtub?
All right. Well, Tyler, we appreciate you coming on and giving us some of your time, especially after that road trip back from West Lafayette. But the Fan 2, tomorrow at 12:45, Tyler Danberg will be on the call. Ohio State and Coppin State. The Ohio State women's basketball team gets the season underway on Sunday, bud. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and then next week, a night game against UCLA.
Thank you so much, and appreciate you guys letting me crash the party.
Anytime.
The party's better.
Rivers Middle Half, by the way, in the chat. The Hall of Fame chatter on all the shows says, tell Tyler that we greatly appreciate his addition to game day coverage. So there you go.
You make the broadcast better, and you've certainly helped out with our broadcast this season. I have a basketball admission, actually. I got to make next. It's College Game Night on the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and I'm a big believer in saying thank you when something actually works. So thank you, Awaken 180. And they're actually saying thank you back right here in Ohio with $500 off every new program through Thanksgiving. I started around this time last year, dropped 65 pounds for the holidays, and 15 more in free maintenance. Awaken 180 works, and now's the time to do it with $500 off. Thank your new self when you're 30 or 80 pounds lighter with the medication-free solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
You ever watch kids play sports and think about your glory days? You tell all your friends that if your knee or back wasn't bothering you, you could go out there and show them up. Oh, do I have good news for you, because relief is closer than you think, and it doesn't have to come from a scalpel. What if it could come from you? At QC Kinetics, we tap into your body's own regenerative power using natural healing factors that help restore and repair damaged tissues, reduce inflammation, and relieve pain at its source. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. Imagine swinging that golf club, hiking that trail, or dancing in the kitchen to your favorite tune. That's the freedom QC Kinetics help people rediscover every day. Don't just master pain. Let QC Kinetics regain what pain took away. And now is a great time to use your HSA and your FSA fund to get started before this year ends. The consultation is totally free, so go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Whoo, go to geteco.com.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
If you haven't felt the rush of the holiday season, trust me, it's coming. Eric Reeser here. Get your body ready for all the tailgating and all the turkey at Hydrate Me Med Spa. They've got 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments to help you look and feel your best during the hustle and bustle. I dropped into their Dublin location for an ozone therapy treatment. They infused my blood with medical-grade ozone that gave me a much-needed energy boost and properly prepared my immune system to tackle cold days and crowded stadiums. Look great, feel great today. Book your drip at hydratememedspa.com.
Hi, it's Anthony Schlegel. When it was time to replace my roof, friends highly recommended Newman Roofing. From the initial sales process, I was incredibly impressed by their commitment to outstanding customer service. Their 33 years of industry experience truly shine through, and it's clear why they have such an excellent reputation. I had the pleasure of meeting with the Newman family to discuss my roofing project. They presented me with several options and attentively addressed all my concerns and demonstrated a genuine care for their customers and the overall experience they provide. With family members in key roles within the company, they ensure that every customer feels confident in their decision to choose Newman Roofing. I highly recommend giving Newman Roofing a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visiting newmanroofing.com.
Call the company you can trust, Newman Roofing, at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. 2 jabronis talking football.
Thank you, football god.
No better way to spend a Saturday. This is Fan College Football Game Night.
Yes, it is. Reeser and Tito, the aforementioned jabronis.
Yes.
You know, in the studio here, we have 2 televisions that we have on college football because it's not time for the other thing that our producer wants to talk to you about. Seriously. And as I'm scrolling, trying to find Alabama and LSU, I'm like, well, I think it's on ESPN. I see on the one of the information boxes, Arkansas versus Michigan State. I'm like, well, that can't be right.
Oh, yes.
Why would they play each other right now?
Yeah.
And then Tyler reminded me when he had him on a second ago, well, dummy, that's a top 25 matchup on the hardwood. But it's not time for that yet.
In the Breslin Center. True road game.
Fantastic.
Great.
Super.
On-site home games.
Is there going to be a return game for Michigan State or for Arkansas?
Yeah, next year.
They're going to Fayetteville? Great.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that next year.
Yes.
How much college basketball you think you've watched today?
Today?
Yeah.
It's been...
I don't know if you can calculate it properly, but like relative to college football that's on, it's supposed to be the dominant conversation here.
Well, I had the Ohio State game on, and the one nice thing about YouTube TV, even though they're doing the whole thing with ESPN and Disney, I could still watch the Ohio State game because they're with Big Ten Network and Fox and everything, and YouTube TV still gets that. But I also had on St. John's and Alabama, and since it started an hour before, I got to watch
that game.
A very entertaining half of basketball. So, but then went split screen with both of them.
I told Reimer after his baby was born that the best thing about it, he can take the late night feedings because he'll watch West Coast basketball.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Oklahoma Gonzaga tonight.
Thank you. When I was with the previous administration, the first child we had, and we would go to church on Sundays. And I always wanted to get the latest NFL news. And so inevitably, I would say, I'll hold Thomas. I got him. I'll hold him. And so I'm holding him, in church. And then I may or may not have pinched him one time. Oh, he started to cry. Honey, I'm not going to do this. This is quiet church. Go out to the car and listen to the NFL news.
That's truly sick.
And I did it.
I was like,
more than once.
It's the result you're worried about, not how you get there.
There's no mark. I mean, just a little pinch to make them uncomfortable for a minute. One little squeeze, it's like, oh, we got to go. I can't be that. We can't disrupt other people's service.
It's less about what you did.
The communion's going on.
What it got for you.
Yes, but the communion's going on. Everything's done anyway. I'm all waiting for the announcements on when the next bingo game is.
I was thinking about that, not necessarily you pinching your child, but the result is what matters here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In college football, even in college basketball. And that for Ohio State is everything, the only thing that the coaches owe us. They owe the fan base, and they really don't owe the fan base the results so much as they owe it to themselves and they owe it to the players.
Yes.
Now, everybody's got a different way of going about getting said results, but the operation or the administration, to borrow your phrase, that's operating right now in Columbus is doing it better than any team.
Yeah.
And for Ohio State, you look at a 34-10 win against Purdue. Purdue stinks.
Yes.
2-8, 2-7 going into this game. They were 0-6 in conference play. Your record's who you are. Like even for Penn State, like they are a very talented team, but the record's who they were.
Yeah.
And Ohio State goes and wins by 24. And you're likely going to be in a similar situation next week against USC. But I would just argue to enjoy this. And enjoy Julian Sain, enjoy Jeremiah Smith, enjoy watching Bo Jackson.
We are so damn
become
spoiled.
running back one. Yeah,
we're spoiled. And it's like, because there's going to be a time, Reeser, I hate to tell everybody this, there's going to be a time when Ohio State's going to lose 3 games in a season. It's going to happen sometime.
And I
City will
even
burn.
wonder if when that happens, 'cause I don't think it's going to happen soon.
I don't either.
When you have an expanded college football playoff, a 3-loss team will not be eliminated.
No.
Now, yeah, you can't lose 3 in the Big Ten. Like this was pretty imperative,
Yes.
For Washington, if they wanted to keep any hope for the Huskies alive to go to the college football playoff, they had to win today against Wisconsin. Well, they didn't. Luke Fickell's team got a 13-10 win in Madison.
Yeah,
that game
that's
just
amazing.
went final.
Amazing.
Because we had thought, when Ohio State went to Madison to play Wisconsin,
right,
there was no more winning.
Right,
Luke
that was
Fickell
it.
was going to
Yeah.
be doing. It was week 2 against Middle Tennessee State. The Badgers were going to lose the next 10. Well, they didn't. So I think it's very good timing. Right earlier this week, you had Wisconsin's athletic director doubling down on his commitment to Luke and also saying we're going to add more for football resources, whether that's from NIL, whether that's upgrades to the facilities, however that looks. I think it's good from the standpoint of they didn't jump in line with everybody else that's just so quick to fire. Because you don't know what kind of result you're going to get, especially at a place like Wisconsin, knowing you're probably not going to get one of the more coveted coaches in this carousel.
Because we're working together, I'll say this. On Reeser and Friends this past week,
Not
did you
the
guys...
name of the show.
Okay, Bishop and Friends featuring Eric Reeser. But did you guys, I wonder, Reese, do you think that the Wisconsin thing was because he believes in Fickell or because he doesn't believe in paying Fickell the huge buyout number?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think you can even to it. I think, yeah, it's both.
It probably is. I don't think it's completely like I believe in Luke Fickell. I think I believe in not giving Luke Fickell more time because I don't want to pay Luke Fickell this huge buyout and cripple the program.
And I do wonder, with these athletic directors, some are slower to make changes because that was their hire.
Yeah,
and
sure,
so a lot of guys don't want to be proven wrong. For Luke, we made the comparison to Cignetti. How when Kirk comes in to Indiana, he has a quarterback from the transfer portal. Well, Luke did the same thing at Wisconsin his first year. Now, the difference between Cignetti and Fickell was trying to do. Cignetti had his own culture and brought it into a place that really didn't have football culture.
Right.
Wisconsin's culture was beef and running the football,
Right.
and Luke tried to change that.
Right.
But also his quarterback got injured early in the season. And for the past 3 years, the guy that they were expected to go the length of the year has been injured to the point where he did not return after said injury. And so I think that cripples a season, and then that can kind of snowball out of control. I looked at Cignetti, and if Curtis Rourke suffers a season-ending injury, it's a different Indiana team.
Sure it is,
And
yeah.
maybe it's a completely different conversation bringing in Mendoza. But if they bring in Mendoza, and then Mendoza goes out at training camp, they don't have nearly the same season. So I don't want to try to make excuses for Luke, and that was a kind of long-winded excuse. I want to see him succeed there. And so I'm glad to see them make that announcement, though he's got one more year to do it. If they copy and paste another 3-win season, he's out.
I know we got to wrap up here, but just clarifying with both you guys, noon Saturday next week?
I'll tell you about it next. It's College Game Night on the Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling. And today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company, you can trust.
Make your list, check it twice, and shop smart this holiday season. Open a Visa at Kemba Financial Credit Union and add some jingle to your wallet with $150 cash back after your first $1,500 spent within 90 days. Apply at Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Offer ends 12/31/25.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
It's Black Friday all month long with low lease payments on every model, starting at $99 a month for a 2026 Elantra. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. At Great Lakes Hyundai, these savings are so good. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus access fees, first month payment, and K miles per year ends 12/1.
Dormar, you're kind of cute.
Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tidy whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair.
Dormar, you're kind of cute.
Hey there, you've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine. You could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt. But you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. But listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. That's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. Cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. Imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt. And you can stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. Get your all-cash offer now. Call 1-855-300-9993. Again, that's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. This is the Fan's Game Day Scoreboard.
This Game Day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. The top-ranked Ohio State football team moved to 9-0 today with a 34-10 win over Purdue. Julian Sayin added to his Heisman case, completing 27 of his 33 passes for 303 yards, and he threw a touchdown pass. Jeremiah Smith with a monster day of 10 catches for 137 yards, and he hauled in that touchdown pass. The Buckeyes return to the shoe next Saturday in primetime against UCLA. It's been survive and advance around the Big Ten today. Number 2, Indiana survived in Happy Valley after a late touchdown to beat Penn State 27-24. Number 9, Oregon needed a field goal in the final seconds to escape Iowa City with an 18-16 win over Iowa, and Wisconsin pulled off an upset over number 23, Washington, 13-10. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is Fan College Football Game Night, your home of all things football.
All you boys think about is football.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Ohio State's 9-0 following a 34-10 win at Purdue earlier today. Buckeyes had a fun 1 o'clock kick for that in Ross-Ade Stadium that really felt more like a smaller version of Ohio Stadium with all the scarlet and gray that was there, and that was kind of to be expected.
Yes, is Purdue the one? Or
Purdue's a basketball school, Tito.
I know. Is Purdue the one, though, that where you can leave at halftime and come back in, or is that Indiana? I don't know if they still let you do it. I think in Bloomington, they used to let fans leave at halftime and then come back in.
I would believe it if you said it. They do that at Purdue. I'd probably believe it too if you said Indiana, though less so now.
Right, probably less than I would think. But I think it used to be a thing, though. But
remember when you could just walk into Ohio Stadium?
Yeah, right.
You could walk in during the week, and even games. I think like after the third quarter, I think you could walk into the stadium and watch the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you can't because you need to purchase a ticket to get onto the grounds.
Yes,
because they've got to do everything they can for the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
So I understand at a place like Ohio State, but Purdue, that feels right. And this was one of those games, as next week might be, as the week after, when you're hosting Rutgers. For Ohio State, you have it on. It's kind of on in the background.
Yeah.
Like, when C.J. Donaldson's at the goal line and they hand it off to Nate Roberts, there wasn't any doubt. Even they're down 3-0. You're like, well, they'll punch it in, and that'll be the game.
Yeah.
This is a lace them up and get a win. You get a win, you get and stay a little healthy. And you just enjoy what was, I thought, a masterful performance with Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith, one of many that's been this season. with things to work on.
Sure, which is perfect.
I thought so.
Ohio State played their best football last year at the end of the season. In the postseason, that's when they played their best football.
Yep.
I think that's Ryan Day's goal every year. Is just get better. Don't peak until you get to the end of the season thing.
I've heard it from fans that want to see them in dogfights.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it from fans that want to see them blow out opponents. I think this is the closest you're probably going to get to a blowout and the furthest to a dogfight. I think Penn State might have been the closest to both in one game. Maybe Texas at the beginning of it, but there was also, I didn't feel this way against Texas, that there was any real threat from the Longhorns, and that's a great compliment to what the defense has been doing.
I didn't either. What do you think would happen if they played the game next week in Columbus?
21-7 Ohio State win.
I would say at least that, yeah. I would
maybe
think
even more.
Yeah, it could be like a 24-27.
To beat the Buckeyes, you've got to score 20 points. You've got to score at least 20 points.
Right.
And I don't see any team doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but even on the 29th, if they don't have Justice Haynes, I'm struggling to see how they could do that. But it's Michigan, and so we're going to throw everything out about what these teams have done in this part of the season, even the early parts of the season when you get to that game on the 29th. But
yeah, I think it's I've said all along that I want them to have some adversity at some point and just see how they respond to it.
Now, there have been different points in games where there's been adverse situations.
Right.
Certainly, C.J. Donaldson and what was with 2 minutes left to go in the first half last week against Penn State, fumbles it, and then you ask your defense on a short field to bow up in the red zone, and they're not able to do that because Penn State puts like 9 offensive lines. They tried a lot of that today, the Nittany Lions did against Indiana, and it's a recipe for success.
Sure it is, yeah.
Andy Kotelnicki, when they hired him, it was so ballyhooed. The big Zamboni. He's going to revolutionize Penn State offense. Yeah. And they've just gone back to their bread and butter. This is their most successful thing. You take the talent you've developed at running back, you take your offensive linemen, you load them to one side, and you run the ball. You don't try this, you don't have Tyler Warren either.
Right, yeah.
Just do what works.
Yeah.
To my point about Luke Fickell, who, yes, in case you're joining us now, Wisconsin takes down Washington, the 23rd ranked Huskies. They fall 13-10 in Madison. So making probably Wisconsin fans feel a little bit better that there is at least one conference win they can have to their resume this season.
And I don't want everybody to talk about how this makes the Ohio State win over Washington look like it was a lesser win. None of that stuff's going to matter. None of it's going to matter. No matter what Texas does or Washington or Illinois or what anybody does, none of that's going to matter as long as we get Ohio State 1 versus Indiana 2 in the Big Ten Championship. No, nothing else is going to matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the postseason scenario. Right. For Ohio State, it's always been win your games.
Yeah.
And you have nothing to worry about.
Yep.
If you lose a game, well, okay, then there's a little consternation. There's cause for it. But for a business-like approach from these Buckeyes week in and week out, the confidence only grows to it being what you just said, 1v2 in Indianapolis. Here's Ryan Day following their win over Purdue on the approach week to week from his young team.
Business-like. They're growing up every day. Like I've said before, I think they're edgy, they're competitive. They've bought into the system. They care about each other. I think they have an edge to them. Like I said, I think that's probably the biggest thing. But business-like, they know what they want to get done. They have perspective. They've seen it. They know what it's supposed to look like. And so now we got to get back to work this week in practice and continue to do it again next week against UCLA.
When he speaks Tuesday, his press conference, it'll be more of that.
It will.
This is about us, and this is about our team and what we're trying to accomplish. And you'll have games like this where you can kind of throw stuff at the wall to see what sticks. You can hand the ball off to the tight end in a Bison package.
Right.
You can bring Lincoln Kienholz in a situation where I wasn't too thrilled with because I want to see Julian Sane convert in the red zone, whether if he wants to do it with his legs, which we now know is a threat for him.
Sure.
Or make the right read, make the right throw, be patient with it, like he wasn't when he threw the interception. Yeah. I don't want to see Lincoln come in and do that because I think it has a chance to throw him off, but you need to know that in a college football playoff game, you could put in the Lincoln Kienholz and you can convert.
Yeah.
So you've got to test it out now. I get it.
Test it out in this kind of game. Don't test it out on the 29th.
Yeah, can't.
You know what I mean?
You cannot throw anything at the wall against Michigan and hope that it sticks. Hope is a bad plan against the Wolverines, especially going in having lost 4 in a row, which I'm sure we'll hear about ad nauseum.
Think so? You think we'll talk about that much? Week of the game? Maybe a little bit?
Someone had asked me like how I think I'm going to feel going into Michigan week, and I truly don't know. This is unprecedented.
It is.
Well, it's feast week, so you should be excited.
Thanksgiving
I
week.
walked right into that.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's like in that
feast week. That's what I'm begging for. It's it's not turkey. It's not spending time with family. It's not NFL games on Thanksgiving. It's not Ohio State, Michigan. No,
I'm just saying that's how you can kind of distract yourself from any nerves or anything like that before the game on Saturday.
Do you still spend the week getting amped up for it?
Not anymore. Not in a professional setting.
Oh, here we go. It's Saturday. Nothing special about a Saturday here.
Monday through Friday, there's no amp up.
Well, I'm not saying amp up on the air. I'm not saying you do it on the air. I'm
not even off the air. Saturday morning, it'll go from like a 4 to a 10.
I want you to know.
That's what it's been the past couple of years. It's been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, okay, we're going to analyze. We're going to discuss. We're going to break it down. You'll get through your work day. And you will, kind of to Jacob Reimer's point, you won't think a ton about it. You'll think about it, but then Saturday... and the emotions off the charts, at least for me.
Did you see what he did right there? It was very emasculating because I will celebrate the entire week. I will get amped up the entire week, not saying from 6 to 8 a.m. on Morning Juice. I'm just saying
celebrate?
I'm going to celebrate Michigan week. Every week I celebrate. Every year I celebrate that week, yes. And the fact that you said to me, I'm professional, I can't do it, that sounded, first of all, it sounded snooty, it sounded pretentious, and it sounded emasculating.
Oh, I didn't mean to do any of that. So I apologize for...
The apology doesn't sound sincere, but that's okay. Listen, I'm just saying, like, yes, you can be professional when you're in the radio show, when you're doing your show Monday through Friday, but the rest of the time...
I meant in my professional life as someone who covers the sport 24/7. It's harder for me in those moments to get amped up, like on a Thursday or a Friday. Game day, yes.
In my list of phone numbers and I know yours is much greater. I'm just telling you, for me though, like I've got Rex.
You can use a Rolodex. You can say, I know what that term means.
Okay, I didn't know how old you were, but listen, I've got Rex Kearns, I've got Keith Byers' number, I've got Tom Zach's, I've got Mike Donnelly's or Doug Donnelly's. I mean, all these guys, and it's going to take all my might to not call them on a personal level and try to talk about the Michigan game. Not because I want them on my show. Like, oh, hey, Tina, nope. I just want to talk to you about the game in '68, Rex.
I don't want to do Bodie's job, but just have him on the show.
I could, but I don't want to do that. I just want to just have I want to be buddies and talk about the game. That's unprofessional. I know. I get it. But it will take all my might to not reach out to former Buckeye greats.
Did you see anything today that has you more nervous for that game? Was there anything in particular that Ohio State did or did not do outside of turning the ball over in the red zone?
No, nothing. As a matter of fact, it just cemented after I saw how much Michigan struggled with Purdue last week and Ohio State didn't struggle with Purdue today. It gave me more of a confident feeling of separation between the two teams.
Like
yes. There's nothing.
It's weird because you throw all of this out.
I know, yeah. Look, that week.
And I used to think that phrase, throw out the record books, was cliched. But this year, I think it is legit.
I think it is too. Yes.
The one factor could be Carnell Tate. I know it's not as big as it seems, but you need all your weapons.
Well, and I think to your point, that's why he was on the sideline today. They put him on ice this week. Maybe similarly for Joshua Padilla, certainly for Phillip Daniels. You look at him Friday for Daniels because he was on the injury report this morning, but you bring Padilla was on the injury report. Daniels was not. Carnell Tate was not. But you bring them out. You have them warm up. You see how do you feel. And if there's any inclination that this is a day to rest him, you rest him.
Well, and if it was his hamstring, like you were mentioning earlier about Jackson Smith and Jigba,
it did have me worried.
You have no idea how long that can linger.
Yeah.
And that could still be a thing when we get to that week.
Craig in the chat asked, what is bigger, Michigan week or Christmas week for me? And it's Michigan week by far. And I'll tell you this, as I've gotten older now, I'm 54 years old, breaking news. But I go through now and think, how many more Michigan Ohio State games am I going to live through? Am I down to 15, 20?
You got 20. You got a solid 20 on
okay, I
there.
got 20 left. I've lived through 54. Now, granted, the first 5 or 6 I didn't really get in on because about 6 years old the first time.
So this year will be your 55th?
Yes. This
okay,
will be,
you've got 21. I want to put you above 75.
Okay. So, but that's what I look at now. It's like this game, I'm going to get so excited about this that because I know I've only got so many left. God, that sounds morbid. It sounds sick. Oh, Christmas is in heaven. Will there be Ohio State, Michigan in heaven? If it's a right heaven, yes.
There'll be Ohio State in heaven.
There'll be Ohio State in
Michigan will be a little hot.
Yeah. road games will be tough then. Ohio State's got to go down there.
Have you been to, look, you sit in the big house when it's full. You feel like you're in hell.
I accepted a job in Ann Arbor one time. And on the way home, I changed my mind and called back and said no.
What was the job?
It was with Damon's, with a franchisee.
Okay.
And I drove up there. I accepted the job. I got back through driving through Ann Arbor. I said, I can't do this.
It means more.
It just does.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be a mostly college football show, and I don't know how much we've actually done of the sport that matters here, but we'll try. There's a key word there to put a bow on this coming up next. It's College Game Night on the Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash, or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Remember that rush you got as a kid ripping open your favorite pack of cards? Well, guess what? You can feel it again at Midwest Cards. Right next to Nationwide Arena, this place is a collector's dream with thousands of packs from all eras. Chase that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, pull a rare Michael Jordan, or even hit your favorite Pokemon and relive that childhood thrill. Plus, you can shop their pack wall, kick back in their roomy sports lounge, or even bring in your old cards to sell or trade. Get to Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Whoo, go to geteco.com.
Hey there, you've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine. You could do so much with all that cash, like travel, invest it, or pay off debt. But you can't touch it unless you sell your home. But you really don't want to move. And besides, homes are sitting on the market a long time these days. You're trapped, right? Not with TrueHold. With TrueHold, you can cash out your equity in as little as 30 days. But listen, you don't have to move. You can stay in the home you love as a renter. That's TrueHold's Sell and Stay program. Cash out your entire home's value and stay put. TrueHold even covers property taxes, property insurance, and essential repairs. Imagine using that equity to travel, invest, or pay off debt. And you can stay in your home. It's brilliant, especially in this slow market. Get your all-cash offer now. Call 1-855-300-9993. Again, that's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's TrueHold.com.
It's Monday Night Football on the Fan 2. Catch the Eagles and Packers live from Lambeau. Fan coverage starts Monday at 8 on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, the Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at rain showers that move back into the region tonight and continue into your Sunday. Temperatures overnight dropping into the low 40s. We should see temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for your Sunday, but falling as we head towards Sunday night. Rain will start to mix with snow, turning to all snow on Monday. We are expecting some accumulation, so make sure you're using caution on the roads. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
This is Fan College Football Game Night. Scores, recaps, and hot takes.
Damn, I love football.
Hot. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Yeah, Reeser and Tito here with you a couple more minutes. We're not going to go right to Vancouver at the conclusion of this broadcast, but that's where the Blue Jackets find themselves tonight, playing the Canucks at 10 o'clock. Fan pregame coverage will hit the air at 9:30. The CBJ will wrap their Western Canada road trip Monday night.
On Monday night they do? That's the end of it?
That'll be the final game before they're back at Nationwide. They're playing the Oilers in Edmonton. Yeah, it'll be an 8 o'clock puck drop. It'll come to you after the Buckeye Roundtable show. Head coach Ryan Day will join Buckeye Roundtable Monday around 6:30. Paul Skip, Jim, and Coach Cooper will hit the Fan at 6 o'clock. For us, because it's a night kick, 7:30 against UCLA. We got the Sports Saturday Spectacular from noon to 2.
Is that what we're going to call it? Can we call it that?
We can call it whatever we want.
I thought it was that official Fan Sports Saturday name, but no, we call it Saturday Sports Spectacular?
Yeah,
all right,
let's absolutely do that. We can call it some other things, too. I'm sure people out there call it
I'm sure.
different
names.
names.
Yes, you call it different.
I had to stick with it because Big Voice Guy says it? No. At least not on this program, because
I feel very free now then. That's
outside of the open, it is not sponsored.
There we go.
So you have that to look forward to. UCLA off this week. Their crosstown rival USC won on Friday night. The Trojans beat Northwestern 38-17. So USC will take a bump, and the second round of college football playoff rankings will be out on Tuesday. Oh, no, I lied. UCLA is playing tonight. They got Nebraska at 9 o'clock.
Oh.
So.
Okay, right now, gun to your head, not to get violent.
Yeah.
How many Big Ten teams make the CFP?
3.
You think 3 get in at the end? I think 3 do also. I think it's 4.
Atticus Sappington kicked the game-winning field goal for Oregon. They survive against Iowa. Fernando Mendoza found a toe tapper at the back of the end zone in Happy Valley. Indiana survives against Penn State, and then the Buckeyes do what was expected and beat Purdue. Those 3 teams are in.
Yeah, I think so. Oregon's got to play USC still, right? And then is that
correct? Oregon has USC and Washington on the schedule. Indiana doesn't have any. Indiana's just got tomato cans. And for the Buckeyes, you're going to act accordingly. You're going to treat opponents like they did today against Purdue, next week against UCLA, the following week against Rutgers, and that it is the most pressure imaginable on the 29th. It's what November looks to. And even, players this week have been saying that the season doesn't really start till December and January. We saw that last season for Ohio State. You mentioned it during the show. The best football was played in the month of December. Certainly wasn't in November.
And at that point, right, it could be elimination game for Michigan, right?
Yes.
We could be looking at that, right? Michigan has 2 losses.
That's nail in the coffin.
I know that makes it even more, it makes it sweeter though.
Yeah, Wolverines, that would be their 3rd loss on the season. They're 5-1 in conference play. So, yeah, Michigan next week, they've got Northwestern and Maryland. So the U of M doesn't return to the Big House until the game against the Buckeyes. You probably saw this week that Michigan said 9 to playing in Germany next year.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
I thought that was stupid when it was announced. I think it's a stupid idea.
It makes no sense.
I'm glad that they consider reason, because the NFL will come your way from Berlin tomorrow morning.
Yes.
What's it? Colts and
Falcons. Yep.
Sauce Gardner's out of concussion protocol, so he'll play for Indianapolis, but 9:30 there. Anybody asking for this?
I don't know from the college standpoint. NFL,
I mean from professional football. No, because college is professional. I mean for American football,
right,
on any other continent.
Right.
Anybody asking for this?
My problem with it, Reese, is that we say in the NFL, for instance, home field advantage in the playoffs is huge. You're striving for home field advantage in the playoffs. That's key to get that number 1 seed. By the way, we're taking away one of your home games and putting you overseas.
Yeah, when we were on with Ross Bjork was on with us when we were at Ohio State's training camp, and I asked him about that because it would take a home game away from Michigan. And to think what that would do for Columbus to take a home game away from the Buckeyes. And Ross said there's no way we're considering.
Yeah.
We would if someone else wanted to offer a home game.
Sure.
And someone came to us with enough money. Of course you listen. Of course you have those conversations.
No doubt. Yep.
But do not, if you're Ohio State, listen to anybody saying, hey, we'd like to take a home game away from Columbus.
Nope. Never. Nope. Don't do it.
Now, the more I think about that, the more I wonder as we walk up to the opening of Huntington Bank Field, Brook Park.
Yeah.
They might for that. Because I could see the Haslams writing a check that would, a check big enough to make Ross go, okay, we'll play a game at the new Cleveland Brown Stadium.
God, wouldn't that piss off Ohio State fans, though? Local fans.
Sure.
I would think.
It would, but you could write a check big enough to make that okay.
I guess you could.
Certainly from a business perspective.
Remember when they had TCU, they're supposed to have home and home with TCU, and they condensed it to one game played in Jerry World.
Yeah.
Okay, Ohio State has home and homes coming up with Georgia, Alabama. They've finished up with Texas here.
Boston College, I think, is still on the non-conference schedule.
It still is, yes, as a home and home. Would you be okay with agreeing to that, saying instead of playing a home and home, we just do one game and we play it in London, or we play it somewhere?
No, do not take it out of the state of Ohio.
Okay.
No. I know they have Bowling Green on the schedule next year, but I think Bowling Green could be a fun game to be played at Cleveland Brown Stadium and do it against a MAC opponent with a MAC fan base, at least bring it back to Ohio. I don't know. But that's down the road. That's a problem for future years.
Yes.
What Ohio State fans dealing with now is winning at an unprecedented rate with a quarterback and a wide receiver who will sure enough find themselves in New York at the end of the season. And for Jeremiah Smith, the best player in college football, was the best player in college football last year, will likely be the best player in college football next year.
Ross is way too classy for this, but I wish Bjork would ask Eddie George to ring the victory bell when they play Bowling Green here.
Can't do that.
I think it'd be hysterical.
Can't do that.
I know you can't do it. I wish you would, though.
Trying to see. We've got actually a busy night in Old Columbus Town because the Jackets play tonight, and then the Crew are playing FC Cincinnati.
Is that like a playoff
game? First round of the Eastern Conference playoffs of MLS Cup, and I'm just trying to see what the bad job out of me not having done show prep, but I think winner goes to the Cincinnati just won 2-1, so the season ends for the Columbus Crew. It's a terrible way to end this program.
Look at that.
So I guess I'll go to scores around the country. Navy and Notre Dame are tied 7-7. Wow, what a bummer, Eric.
Yeah, and Bodie's at that game, so he's probably all ticked off right now. You might be
so
fighting
Navy
somebody.
does not have Blake Horvath.
Right.
But so far, so good. It's, again, 7-7, 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter from South Bend. Alabama has a 3-0 lead on LSU. There's about 14 minutes left to go in the second quarter from Tuscaloosa. Louisville leads California 13-10 for whatever the heck that's worth.
Huge.
Virginia trails Wake Forest 7-6.
Is that basketball or football?
Relegate the ACC. Give the MAC champion prime real estate in the college football playoff over the ACC champion. But, Tito, I will see you if they want us back here next Saturday at noon on the Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. New special guests in every